In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free-For-All, man. This is the show for the fans, by the fans, and for Panther Nation to come on the C3 Podcast and let their voices be heard. Once again, I am joined by some Friday Free-For-All faithful. Blah, that's a lot of F's in one sentence. And I'm going to introduce them in a second. But listen, if you want to join the show, the link is in the description box of the YouTube video. I also just posted it in the chat room as well. So if you want to get in on this action, join in on this discussion, as always, you are more than welcome to do so. Let me introduce my illustrious guest, Panther Pickle. Kenneth, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, it's Cook. I'm just good. You know what I heard on Sirius XM radio on the way home today? I kind of stood up in my car for 10 minutes. I won't hear it. But they did a fan mock draft where fans, I guess where they were pre-selected somehow, called into the show and given their picks. And I'm telling you, I could have smacked whoever did Carolina pick.
Dude, I've been
end, not even a good defensive end.
I'm looking around too, man. There's a lot of different rumors. There's a lot of a lot of different opinions, man, that we're sure to get to today. We're going to be talking about the draft. Next, we got my man, Drew. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Cody? Fellas, how you doing tonight? Ready for another great show?
Yeah, man. And by the way, so we're going to be doing some comparisons for those who have done it, or if you want to do it during the show, you can do that as well. We're going to be comparing mock drafts. So whoever has some mock drafts that they want to show and share, we're going to be comparing and contrasting them and see who has the best one, man. It ought to be fun. Next, illustrious guest, man. This guy funds, I think, every Panther YouTube podcast that there is, but we know him and love him. It's Jay Stubbs. What's going on, bro?
What it do, baby?
What up?
Hey, is there an echo for y'all, or is it just me?
I believe that it is coming from, so it's actually coming from our next guest, Connor, the future of Panther fandom. You got some background noise going on, but
you're like near a waterfall, my dude.
Yeah,
sorry. I accidentally unmuted my mic. I've just been outside for the past 30 minutes, and I'm trying to cool off.
No, you're good, man. How you doing?
Good. By the way, so mid-show, so if we're going to be sharing mock drafts, then I might switch over to my laptop because I don't think I could screen share on my iPad.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, man, but listen, as always, like I said before, if you want to join the show, you're more than welcome to do so. The link is in the description. It is also in the chat room for those of you who would like to check that out. So one more show note before we go forward. Next Friday, during day 2 of the draft, I'm not going to be going live because I'm going to be working for Draft Tech. I'm going to be making some money, doing some picks for the website. But have no fear, I'm still going live on Saturday. So it's going to be the first ever edition of the Saturday Free-For-All for anybody who wants to come and hang out and be a part of that. Let me welcome Matt to the show. Matt, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? How you been?
I'm actually sick right now, but I came through to hop on since I wasn't on last week.
I hear you, man. I appreciate that dedication, man. Yeah, hopefully you don't got COVID, man. That it seems like I've known some people that have been getting that again too, man. So yeah, are we ever gonna get through this crazy stuff? That's crazy, man. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and jump into this show and just let's talk about it, man. So I don't know how many of you were able to see this, but the Panthers coaches that we haven't heard much from this cycle, they gave their first press conferences. And specifically, we're going to be talking today about Ben McAdoo and James Campen, because I don't know about y'all, but I think that both of these men have actually gone a long way in a short amount of time to actually endear themselves to Panther fans. Real quick, I want to play this clip and then I'll ask a question about it right after.
Sam is your starting quarterback.
Sam is our starting quarterback, yes.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
You know, one of the things I've been working on is being better talking to you people. So, you know, announcing the starting quarterback here, I just put my foot in the mouth. So that wasn't something I should have said.
And you look.
I love that. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, this might be one of the most Panther clips I've ever seen in my life. But my question to all of you, to everyone on the panel, to everyone in the chat room, is do you think that Ben McAdoo kind of revealed what's in the cards for the Panthers? Do they intend to start Sam Darnold? Did he say too much? What do you make of this, if anything at all?
Well, right now,
he really did, because I mean, honestly, they asked him, "Who do you think the starting quarterback is?" If you look at the roster right now, it's Sam Darnold. There's only him and PJ Walker on the roster.
Exactly.
What else is he going to say? PJ Walker's our starting quarterback.
And besides all that, I don't think, unlike other drafts, I don't think there's a player in this roster, right, or this draft right now, that could come in and say, "I'm going to start from the moment I'm drafted." You know, I really don't. I don't care who it is. I don't think that person's there.
I'm not going to say that now. Icky Nkanu or Evan Neal, they walk in. You're starting.
You're right. I meant quarterback. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I meant no matter who, if hypothetically say they draft a quarterback in the first round, I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I want that person to compete with somebody to start. I don't want somebody handed the job like Sam Darnold was.
Have y'all seen Invincible?
Oh yeah.
We might as well have just a effing open tryout with fans, bro. But for real though, like what Drew said, man, he technically Sam is the quarterback, like as of right now.
But
so if you look at the Cody, is that second coach you were talking about? Is that the F he kept dropping F-bombs and all kinds of stuff?
Okay, so we're gonna get to that in a minute.
This is my favorite coach.
You're talking about James Campen. That's our new offensive line coach, and we'll get to him in a minute because that guy might be my favorite coach on the Panthers squad already, dude. I love that guy so much.
He's a guy you can go out and have a beer with.
Not only that, but literally, even before he started speaking, one of the first things that we ever heard from him was that Brady Christensen should have gotten way more of an opportunity to play left tackle last year than he actually did. Yep. So, man, all this dude does is win. He really he sounds very knowledgeable on all things offensive line, but also you can tell that he's just a dude's dude, and I love that guy, man. We're gonna get to him in a second, but. I'm just asking, like, did anyone make anything of this Sam Darnold comment? And by the way, not even just Sam Darnold. Like, if anyone heard anything about Ben McAdoo that maybe made them kind of like him even better, what are your thoughts on Ben McAdoo and anything he said?
That was a Panthers. That's just like I said when I called in the other day about the half built foundation. And this is just another thing that we've been saying. Like, they just don't there's no plan. Like, there's no nothing. It's just he's a starting quarterback. Oh, actually, he's not the starting quarterback. Oh no, he is a starting quarterback. No, he's not. And then the other coach is just dropping F-bombs everywhere. So
I can just imagine like before the press conference, Scott Fitterer being like, "All right, listen. Y'all got to mind your P's and Q's. Don't tell nobody who's the starter. Don't say any swear words." And look at what happens, man.
Cody,
we're already on a roll.
You think the PR guy was just staring at him? Or lady? Would just staring at him the whole time?
PR guy was sitting there looking, I got to work overtime now.
But, I mean, do you know how stupid that is to me, though? Like, is this not better PR? Like, is there anyone that thinks less of these dudes because of anything that they said? Like, if anything, I like them more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ben McAdoo has has that look like, I don't know. He looks like he's just a '90s porn star or something. I don't get it.
He has that kind of vibe to him. But listen, I'll say this, and then I'll go to James Campen. One of the things that I said on Tuesday night show is that when you look back at Ben McAdoo's history, this is a guy who, he had Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson rated above Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold in that draft class. This is a guy who, it seems, values talent over a guy who might be ready to play right now. And we'll get to that in a minute when talking about the quarterbacks. But I said on Tuesday, like going into this draft, I'm happy that we have Ben McAdoo in our war room. Like, I like the fact that we have this guy who looks at the draft a little bit differently, a part of this draft, because I think that because of him, there's going to be a better chance that if the Panthers do love one of the quarterbacks, that they're actually going to take him.
Yeah, Cody, but you know what? The kryptonite to all that is Matt Rule is still in the war room.
Yeah. I know.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to also bring up the other comment that McAdoo made about the whole protection thing, about him wanting to give the starting quarterback a little bit more protection. To me, that sounds like that they're going to go left tackle, and that just revealed the whole hand to the rest of the league. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're not going to go and trade for a quarterback, or maybe there's plans to trade back and get a quarterback. But I agree. Like I like what he could bring. I hate how he says things.
I want to push back on what you just said, brother. Didn't the O-line coach say that he sees Christensen as a starting left tackle in the NFL?
He did.
He did.
So, we just don't know, man. Like, what you're saying is right. Like, if Evan Neal's there at 6, it'd be really hard not to take him.
But we also need to remember that Campen already said in the interview this week that but Matt Rule makes that decision. So I mean, we got to put that out there. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Kenneth, you're right.
I think Rule will and I have no proof of this, so nobody hate me. Or I don't care. You want to do it anyway, do it. But the bottom line is we don't know that Rule may listen to his offensive line coaches this time, because actually he may respect it that they know more than he does, so to speak.
And again, I mean, all of this is just speculation at this point, but I would imagine that when you have a head coach that everyone clearly knows is on the hot seat, I mean, I have to think that voices like Ben McAdoo, who they hired specifically because of his NFL tenure, and Scott Fitterer, who is now in his second year of being a general manager, I have to think that their voice matters a little bit more this year. Not necessarily matter more than Matt Rule, but that their voice matters and carries a little more weight than, say, it might have last year when everybody thought that, we had a good head coach that needed to make a few adjustments, Yeah.
Just to say, I believe Neal and Aquanu are the top of the list. They're the top. They're above any quarterback. They really are. I believe that. But I believe in reality, neither one of them is going to be there when we pick a 6. I would hope that's different, but I believe if one of them is there, we'll take them without thinking about anything else. Then you're liable to see us trying to make a play for a veteran quarterback. I sure hope not, but I believe that'll happen. Now, if those are gone, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't trade back. And something we got to remember though too, Jacksonville's already said nobody's interested in their number 1 pick. Nobody. There were some reports talking this week that some of the draft experts have already said there may be less trade ups this year because teams just don't see a person in the draft they want to jump up for. There may be 1 or 2, but they'll probably be gone in the top 5 this year. So,
yeah. I was trying to find it. I can't find it. If I do, I'll put it up. But someone had even speculated that the Panthers could potentially, if they do love one of the quarterbacks, trade up with the Jacksonville Jaguars to get the number 1 pick. And again, I know everybody. I see Connor shaking his head like, I mean, what do you? Okay, so let me just ask this, right? And I feel like I already know the answer, but would all of you absolutely hate that if the Panthers did indeed trade up?
Yeah, I think they're smarter than that. That may be pushing a lot of buttons, but I really think maybe not necessarily every single person that runs our team thinks that, but I believe that the majority of them are smart enough to know they don't need to do that.
Hashtag March on Mystery.
Go ahead, Connor.
I think because you're referring to Matt Rule as the person that is not smart enough to do that.
I could be. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Very possible. Very possible.
I mean, let me ask you something. If you were in the crowd, say you were at some event, non-NFL event, and you saw McAdoo standing over in the corner, just standing there, would you go up and say something to him? We probably would.
Yeah, I think I definitely would.
If you saw Matt Rule standing over there.
I don't know.
Would you? And if you do, would it be nice?
I wouldn't say anything nice to him.
I mean, look, I like to think I'm a nice guy, but I wouldn't be mean to him. But I don't know. I mean, I probably would maybe. I don't know
exactly what I would tell him.
I don't know what I would do in that moment, but I do think that Ben McAdoo, he's probably a guy that you would like to hang out, have a beer with, have a good time. He seems like a genuinely cool guy.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, man, let me welcome my man Noah to the show. Noah, what's going on, brother?
What up, Noah?
What's up, Noah?
What's up, Cody? What's up, everybody?
What's up, man? What did you make of Ben McAdoo's press conference? And do you think Sam Darnold's going to be the starter?
Yes, I think Sam Darnold is going to be the starter for the first few weeks. If we get Malik Willis, I think Sam Darnold probably play to week 10, I can say. And then I think he's probably gonna go to the bench. Okay. But most likely, Sam Darnold is gonna be our starter.
Right. So maybe no matter if the Panthers draft a quarterback or not, Sam Darnold gives them some kind of leeway to be able to start Sam, let him prove that he's a good quarterback, and then you have a backup in whoever you drafted. I wouldn't mind that either, man. And I know a lot of people are even saying bring back Cam Newton. I mean, again, I don't necessarily think that's gonna happen, but I would like it to. Go ahead.
I don't think Cam is gonna go back, honestly. I feel like he's kind of done with this organization, with everything that happened over the time period, with him getting let go, and then now they want him to come back. I don't think Cam is gonna come back.
Yep.
No.
Probably to a different organization.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see who actually is interested in Cam. I don't know, man. Hey, let me ask y'all this: do y'all ever remember a draft where, what the Panthers were gonna do is so in question? Because, I feel like last year even, we kind of really didn't even feel like Justin Fields or any of the quarterbacks were going to be the pick. We thought that it was going to be someone else, even though we might have wanted to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Is this one of the most hard to pin down drafts that you can remember for the Panthers?
Yeah, I'm going to say that because looking back at a lot of the drafts that I've watched, this is the one draft at a particular situation that we have. We have so many areas we could go, and there's no top level. There's nobody standing out in this draft. There's not even a true position of greatness. There's just not.
We have no idea who's going first, Kenneth. Right? We have no idea who's going first.
No. And even Jacksonville said said they don't really. I don't think they know. I think they've got a handful of people on the list. But I listened to a mock today on Shears FM Radio, a fan mock. Their number one pick was O'Neal. Or the left tackle.
Yeah.
And it throwed everything out.
And if I'm them, I wouldn't mind that either. Go ahead, Jay.
What's up with how did Walker climb so much? Was it his combine or his
So
pro day?
basically, it was the athletic combine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you have to realize that Trayvon Walker,
It was his combine.
his numbers are more comparable to a corner than they are a defensive end. And by the way, the guy is 6'5".
Don't tell Matt Rule that shit.
Yeah, I know. And he's 6'5", 272 pounds. And I think another thing that's causing Trayvon Walker to rise so far up the boards is that even though you look at his film, he only had 6 sacks on the season, but they played him everywhere. They played him at 1 tech, 3 tech, 5 tech. He was able to get pressure consistently from all of them. And that Georgia defensive line is filled with first-round talents. I mean, you had Jordan Davis. I believe Devontae Wyatt is the guy's name.
Yeah.
Then you had Nakoba Dean, the linebacker, who's might be the number 1 linebacker in this draft. So a lot of people are thinking
what they say his pro comp is.
Who, Trayvon?
Yeah.
No, Alden Smith, right?
No, they said his pro comp was Myles Garrett.
Cody.
Let me throw this out there though, real quick. Let me ask everybody. Go ahead, buddy. Jay.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you.
I want to total a question. Something happens, and let's say Malik Willis is gone, or no, let's say Malik Willis is still on the board. Let's say both our tackles are gone, and Walker's at the board at 6. Do you, as a Panther fan, take Walker with the understanding that if you don't, the Falcons probably will? So you better hope that you get a quarterback who can run away from Walker, because if you line Walker up against Sam Darnold, Walker's going to love
Cody, my
Panthers
thing is like what
year.
you just said about Walker. That sounds like a Matt Rule special, bro. Versatility. He, someone who is clearly a defensive end, and he wants to play him everywhere else. Just like Christensen's clearly a tackle, and he wants to play him everywhere else but tackle. That kind of scares me. That sounds like a Matt Rule
special. The thing is, Walker can play it. Walker has played it. He's got experience doing it. Christian has only played left tackle, and of course we see what Matt Rule try to do to him. But at least Walker has that versatility and has done it at a high level.
Right, and I think the mindset. Go ahead, Noah.
Or we go get Walker, and we still see if what's his name, Baker Mayfield is out there. I mean, that's
don't want nothing.
Well, so I mean, look, I've kind of accepted the fact that there's a bunch of possible options that potentially could happen that a lot of Panther fans are not gonna like very much. So listen, I feel like I've kind of made my bias known. I think you all know where I'm at on this quarterback class. I believe that you bet on talent long term. So I would love to draft Malik Willis at number 6. That's what I would like to do. But at the same time, I mean, Jay, I hear what you're saying, man. That does seem like a Matt Rule kind of pick. The problem is, and I think one of the things that we're all having to keep in the back of our mind is what is going to be the best for a coach who's on the hot seat that probably only has maybe half a year left if he doesn't start winning soon. And I just don't know, after our offense was so bad last year, like what does it make him look like if you take a defensive player at number 6 when your quarterback position and your offensive line has been so bad? Like that just makes no sense to me.
I have one thing to say after Connor.
You can't be that stupid. You cannot be that stupid.
But guess what, Connor? He is
after the draft if he does that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but also, go ahead, Noah.
I feel like if I was Matt Rule right now, I say that I go get Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett and Matt Rule. I know that when Kenny Pickett was committing, I know when Matt Rule left the other team, he decommitted. I feel like they may be a good duo together. I mean, Matt Rule.
Y'all know who Morgan Wallen is?
Who?
Morgan Wallen.
The country singer?
He looks just like Kenny
Pickett.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
He does. You know what?
I couldn't. If you showed me a picture of Morgan Wallen, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you who it was.
Kenny Pickett. Now this is coming out today. I heard today that
What? Kenneth, his
that
hands
there's
grew another inch?
that Kenny Pickett's actually his stock is sliding down now because many scouts are saying his top level that he can read, his upside is already there. He will never get no better than he currently is ever.
So it's kind of correcting itself a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
Kind of, but look, listen though. If I'm Kenny Pickett and that's happening to me, to be honest, I love that. Let me fall in the draft to a team that has a better roster.
Right.
So, for example, like if you're one of these quarterbacks, you could go to a team like the Falcons or the Lions or even us, the Panthers, or you might fall to, say a Pittsburgh Steelers or a New Orleans Saints, and they have better offensive lines on paper than we do.
Right.
That would benefit him. And plus, look at Mac Jones last year. I don't know how people can really see too much of a difference between Kenny Pickett this year and Mac Jones last year. I think Pickett is far more athletic. He has a better ability to make plays outside of the pocket. I think Mac Jones was probably better under pressure inside the pocket. But even still, it's like they're already at that potential, they're kind of, I don't want to say a finished product, but you're not going to do too much projecting about them, being some much better quarterback in the foreseeable future than they are now.
Cody, I got a point. I'm looking at the chat and everything, and I've been hearing the last few weeks, however long ago, we've been hearing fans talk about, we need to upgrade at the quarterback position. We need a better starter than Sam Darnold. But then they seeing people turning around saying, oh, why don't we trade for Baker Mayfield or Gardner Minshew?
Yeah.
Like, really? But you didn't want to trade draft picks for Deshaun Watson. But you're now saying, well, why don't we trade for Baker Mayfield or Gardner Minshew, but we want to upgrade at the quarterback position? That makes
Drew,
sense.
Drew, you know what's even crazier to me? People that are going to be okay trading picks for next year's quarterbacks. They didn't want to do it for Deshaun, but they'd be willing to do it for a player that you've never seen play a snap of NFL football.
Exactly.
What sense does that make?
There is a boatload of evidence. I mean, I would use a different term, but I don't want to. But there's a boatload of evidence that states that quarterbacks can go smash to the floor in one season. Smash and obliterate himself from the top of the list, from the number one prospect to the
Cody,
32nd prospect in the seventh round.
Statement you had up.
Cody, what did I do the other day about
go back.
But this one?
Yeah, this one right here. Okay, he never said give him an extension, just let him be a free agent. But you're going to have to trade draft capital. I don't care even if you can't do a 6th round pick because that's going to New England.
Is he talking about Baker?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just like, but Baker Mayfield is not an upgrade over Sam Darnold. They're basically, if you look at their set, they're basically the same quarterback.
Here's my thing, Drew. And I sent this to Cody probably a couple of days ago, and I said, hey man, look, if you remember Tua Tagovailoa, his sophomore year, he would have been the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yep.
And everybody would have traded the whole world to go get him. And then the next year, he's like, pick whatever. And now they don't want him.
Yeah.
So
and by the way,
careful about next year's prospects.
And to piggyback off of what you were just saying, I put this on Twitter too. Like a lot of people are enamored with Bryce Young, the quarterback out of Alabama.
He's short.
He's 5'11". He's probably 190 pounds soaking wet. And on top of that, he is not mobile, man. He does not like to run around. Like you are going to have to
build in the NFL.
You're going to have to build a very good pocket around him. And my last point on those quarterbacks next year is that you have to understand that all these quarterbacks, it doesn't matter if you're talking about Liberty University or if you're talking about Alabama, they're all coming from spread offenses. They are not doing things in college that they're going to be asked to do in the NFL. So it doesn't matter, what they were doing. You have to project them into the NFL and imagine them being able to do those things.
Exactly.
And
Cody, these guys are sitting around there telling us that we're being disrespectful to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, again, has the almost exact same stats as Sam Darnold, and he had one of the top offensive lines in the NFL, one of the top defenses in the NFL, and
two running backs.
The other day I got in an argument because I've got family that's Cleveland Browns fans. I don't really like to admit that, but what you gonna do? They live in Ohio. So
I have fans that are Saints fans. I have family that are Saints fans.
Exactly. You just gotta wear your sports fans when you go to these reunions and smile and get in arguments. But and I hear people talk about injury issues, and I will support this. And I've got some slack from multiple people, including Panther fans, over this. But I still stand by this. So if you look at Baker Mayfield last year, now let's be real here. He played hurt, and he shouldn't have. The coach should have benched him, just like Ron Rivera should have benched Cam Newton, but didn't. Baker Mayfield took the fall. Cam took the fall. So regardless of all that, you also got to look at this word that I absolutely wish they would outlaw in the draft. Outlaw is pro ready. Let's be real. Jimmy Clausen and Will Greer, and I said this in chat a while ago, were both said to be pro ready. They could start right away from day one. Guess what?
Yeah.
We drafted them, and they sucked ass.
Yep.
Wayne Gabbert was pro ready.
Now, there's another one. There's also Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott was said not to be pro ready. You absolutely could not start them at all their rookie year because they would suck.
I got one better for you.
They would.
Can't breathe.
And Jamarcus Russell also.
Don't bring up this pro ready crap.
Cody, I will say this, Cody.
Crock of crap.
I will say this, Cody, and I'm not trying to hype you up, man, but I'm really, honestly, bro, I'm taking your lead because, like I said, I've been following y'all's channel, I think, for 4 years now, and every quarterback you've been about in the draft you've been pretty spot on. I'm not saying like round 3 or 4, that's always tough, but you had Herbert, you had even with corners and left tackle, you had Slater. You had who was it last year? Who you had last year again?
Yeah, last year I had Slater as my OT1. I had J.C. Horn as my CB1.
Who was your number one quarterback last year?
My number one quarterback last year, I had so literally I had Trevor. I had them all in a row because I really liked all. Yeah, I had Trevor 1, Justin Fields 2, I had Trey Lance 3, and Zach Wilson 4.
And you had Mitch Herbert, the year before, right?
Year before, Justin Herbert was my guy. I wanted the Panthers to draft him too. And I put that on Twitter. Like, imagine how upset Panther fans would have been if we would have traded up for Justin Herbert. Everybody would have been so mad that we did that. Yet, look how good that guy turned out to be. And look, I'll just go ahead and drop this on y'all, man.
I think Matt Rule would have ruined him, but
Yeah, I mean, and also like, there's no guarantee that if we didn't get Rashawn Slater, that we didn't play him at guard. I mean, this guy's already one of the best left tackles in the NFL, and somehow
as a rookie.
Yeah, as a rookie, and that's hard for us to figure out. But on that notion of and Drew, I'm actually going to let you go on this because you actually mentioned this on Twitter, and I was surprised you even mentioned this, man. But there has been rumors. Well, okay, first off, Deebo Samuel does not want to be a San Francisco 49er anymore. It's also been rumored that him and Jimmy Garoppolo are kind of willing to, potentially meet up and go to the same destination. So, Drew, I want you to pose what you said on YouTube, and we'll just talk about it, man. Just kind of see if it's something worth entertaining.
That came up. I sent a message to Cody on Twitter, and I said, for the right price, and my price was this year's first, Robbie Anderson, and next year's 3rd or 4th round pick for the combination of Jimmy and Sam Darnold for the combination of Jimmy Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel. And the only reason I said it is because we're getting Deebo. We're going to have to give him an extension, so that's why they only get one first, because that extension is going to cost us.
We have a Deebo on the roster. We just don't
But that's what I'm saying. If you trade Robbie, you trade Sam, this year's first and next year's third, you're going to have Deebo, DJ, Jimmy Garoppolo as your starting quarterback for one season, and an upgraded offensive line and a pretty good defense to see what he can work with. That offense is potent because Garoppolo he's a game manager. Garoppolo can get the ball to people.
He's not a game manager.
If his shoulder's healthy.
But he can get the ball to the people who can win you games.
But Drew, I got a question for you. Like, Deebo's made it. He said DJ said what? Sorry, Deebo told San Fran what DJ Moore told Matt Rule 2 years ago. He ain't being used like no damn running back. So that's the problem.
You don't need to use Deebo as a running back here. You got Christian McCaffrey already.
That's what makes Deebo special, bro. Is his ability to be a running back.
Well, let me ask you all this.
You don't have to
prorate Drew.
Hold on. Let me ask you all this though. One of the reasons why he wants out of San Francisco is that he's kind of tired of being used in that running back / wide receiver hybrid role.
Exactly.
And from everything I'm hearing, he wants to be played as like a more traditional wide receiver. And I think that kind of goes into it a little bit.
That's what makes him special, though. His ability to play the running back position.
Yeah, but I think part of the problem is they're not getting paid for that.
They took his rushing stats and averaged it over. If he would have played a running back, he'd have just the same amount of stats as your boy from Indianapolis. What's my man's name? The running back,
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, they prorated that shit on Pat McAfee, and he had the same stats as Jonathan Taylor if he was to be a running back.
I think if Christian McCaffrey switched to wide receiver, it's the same argument that Christian McCaffrey has to play in wide receiver. He says, no, I'm a running back. Deebo says, no, I'm a receiver. Many years ago, they used to talk about tight ends complaining because they weren't getting paid like wide receivers, even though they did the same job, a better job, and at the same time also had to run block. You pay a running back to be a running back. You pay a wide receiver to be a wide receiver. I understand what Debo's saying. I wouldn't like that combination myself personally of giving up a 6th-round pick for that. I just don't like that. But simply because Deebo would be here exactly what Curtis Samuel was, exactly what Christian McCaffrey is, exactly what DJ Moore is. No simple. No, I mean,
worth a lot more money too.
Receiver.
Yeah,
he played running back, but Deebo is a receiver.
But what makes Deebo special is the way he can run the ball. That's what made him the difference last year.
But
they give him the ball in all kinds of different ways.
Okay, so you got Deebo single. You can't double it. Who are you gonna double? So Deebo in single coverage as a top receiver, and you don't think he's gonna move the ball?
Well, Jimmy G gonna throw an interception anyway.
You don't need to because a few
Jimmy
hits.
G's not the best. I get that, but Jimmy G is a clear upgrade.
They literally played a playoff game where he only passed the ball 8 times because they were scared.
Yeah, but let's also understand in that playoff game, he was getting creamed because I clearly watched that game, sat there, and Jimmy took the ball, took 1 or 2 steps back, and was creamed. Why? Because the right side of the offensive line forgot they were supposed to block.
And
that's just a pure fact.
And listen, we have to kind of be open to the fact that these are the options that we have left. Because if the Panthers do indeed draft an Evan Neal or an Akem Ekwonu or even a Charles Cross, like if they say, okay, we have to fix the O-line, then, I mean, your only other options are going out and getting one of these quote-unquote bargain bin quarterbacks. Like, that's really the only options that you have left. My only issue with that scenario, Drew, is that if you brought Deebo here, okay, then you got to pay him. Mm-hmm. Then you look at how much dollar amount we have tied to offensive skill positions. DJ Moore has a big contract. Robbie isn't, we paid him, but he would be on the last year of his deal. Then you would add Debo Samuel.
But
then you would add Christian McCaffrey too.
Cody.
Oh, you think Robbie would be part of that?
Yeah, Robbie and Sam would be included in that trade going back to Sanford.
Okay.
But still, it's way too much money for receivers, bro. Sorry.
And then, like, it is, you're taking Sam's money off the book and Robbie, but again, like, the part of this question too is how much money do you pay Debo Samuel? Especially considering. But I think that it's at least worth mentioning. If he doesn't want to do the running back receiver role anymore, then it's like, how are you going to evaluate how to pay him if you're going to be asking him to do something that you really haven't been seeing him do at least a ton of consistently over the past, however many years he's been in San Francisco. Not saying that he hasn't shown the ability to play pure wide receiver, but just I think like what Kenneth said, a part of what makes him such a special player is his ability to do all those different things. And it kind of takes away from that if he's not doing those things anymore, and it kind of leaves some unknowns.
That's why San Fran's not going to give him the bag.
What Debo would be smart to do is search for a way out of San Francisco or flat out San Francisco. I'm not doing that no more. I don't care to do it every great once in a while, but for me to do it every single week, because that's not who I want to be. And then postpone his contract till he gets a chance, or if he can, till he gets a chance to play pure wide receiver.
So he's already under contract for next season, so he'd have to play next season under his current deal.
It's a fifth-year option, right?
Okay, I mean,
he wasn't a first-round pick.
I really don't.
He
see.
wasn't?
No, I don't see him ever coming here anyway. But let's hypothetically say he goes somewhere that has an elite wide receiver.
He's probably going to the Jets, bro.
Yeah, I would retire before I go to the Jets. If I was Debo Samuel, I would retire before I go to the Jets.
I also heard that they're trying to trade Kadarius Toney, the guy that they just drafted last year.
Well, why they want to trade him, right? He hasn't shown up for any OT activities, and he doesn't even have a playbook yet.
Yeah.
So, Cody, I got a real question for you. Yeah. What comes first, the NFL draft or another Panthers getting arrested?
Oh man, that's a good one. That needs to be a prop bet somewhere. I don't know, man. Like, man, let's talk about that, man. What did y'all make of what's the running back's name? I keep on forgetting his name, man.
What, you mean the linebacker?
Yeah, the linebacker. Yeah, that's it.
Wilson?
Yeah, Damian Wilson. Like, what? Man, that story kind of came out of nowhere, man.
I read somewhere that Carolina has almost as many players arrested as that they do wins from last year. I was like,
that hits a little close to home.
Well, they do. They've got 3 arrested and 5 wins.
You know what? I kind of missed the days when we had. I don't know how to say this politely, so I'm not going to. We had a bunch of talented goody two-shoes who were all about their family life and their profession, and didn't really go out and do a whole lot of partying, hardying, and stuff like that. But at the same time, that was done by discipline. That was done by John Fox in the early years of Ron Rivera, where they didn't tolerate that crap. Period.
I will say this though, Kenneth. I am happy that we are actually taking. It's obviously not working out now. But forever, we never took chances on trouble.
No, I agree to that. I agree to that. But, there's a fine line. You know what I'm saying? There's a fine line. And you have to, for example, Hill, Tyreek Hill, he dropped, I think, to the 5th round because in college, he had off-the-field issues that teams were scared to take him.
I imagine that this is probably the hardest part of being a general manager. Because you think you know someone, man, and you just don't. Like, that's the simple fact of the matter. And it's like, okay, imagine Deshaun Watson, right? Before all of the stuff came out about him and the accusations against him, like, this guy's, off the field record was spotless. You would never imagine any kind of accusations against Deshaun Watson like that until they happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, you think that you know someone, you think that you can bet on them to be, you know, a good person and a good player, and then look what happens. I mean, you know, we can go back to even Greg Hardy. Even like we had that same kind of culture, you know, but with Ron Rivera was here with Greg Hardy, and then all that stuff ends up firing off. So it's like you really just truly don't know. It's like a gamble almost.
Yeah, but we had Greg Hardy. I mean, we had that one, but we've had Ian Thomas arrested. We've had Shaw Smith arrested. Now you got Damian Wilson arrested. It's like, okay, at some point, somebody's not doing their job doing these background checks.
And Robbie, if Sam's the quarterback, Robbie might shoot that MFer.
Hey man, let me welcome a longtime friend of the C3 Panthers podcast, Jay Cryer. What's up, brother?
What up, Jay?
How you doing? Hey, it's just a quick visit because I'm doing my masters at the moment, and I've got my deadline Tuesday. But I had you on in the background. I thought I'd come and say hello.
Oh man, dude! Hey, good luck on your masters, man. What are you getting your masters in?
Coaching and mentoring. So I work as a business development manager for a company in England. But I want to get into like business coaching as well, and a bit of like personal coaching as well. Just help people that need help, really. So,
dude, that's awesome, man.
Huge.
That's awesome.
I think everybody with that accent sounds smart as hell, man.
Yeah, I mean, I normally just assume that people from the UK are smarter than us, but yeah, man. What you got for the show today, man? Do you have anything in particular you want to add?
Well, I've been sending Robbie Anderson abuse all week because, like, I don't know what makes that guy think he's got the right to start having an opinion on Twitter. It was awful last year. It's like when you work in a company. My company, we got this like this admin girl that does the payroll and stuff, and she's real opinionated. And it's like, look, you haven't earned the right to be opinionated on the big, you know what I mean? Like when you get there, by all means, but you're not there, and Robbie's not there yet. So
what you want to say is what Cam said, brother.
What you can.
I mean, yeah, no, dude. There's and by the way, I didn't see what they said, but I think Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless
they went in, bro.
Yeah, and I didn't even see it, but I know that Robbie Anderson got mad at him and was like, "Hey, let me on the show. We'll debate this back and forth." So I kind of feel like that's a relevant opinion, man. Like if Robbie Anderson, he did have that one season where he had 1,000 yards, but like really that was his best season of football, really. And it's like, I don't know. I understand people that are like, thinking that he shouldn't say that. I feel like the reason why he got a pass for it is because so many Panther fans, so many Panther fans feel the same way that he does, and that Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo or like, pick one of these types of quarterbacks, like they represent like a lateral move. It
was like a spirit bomb. He had to summon all of our energy and just say, "No,
man."
Dude, Sam Darnold is Robbie Anderson's kryptonite. Anytime Sam Darnold comes around, Robbie Anderson just completely forgets how to play football.
But you got to understand this about Robbie, and I forget this myself. Robbie, to a large extent,
is he from Florida?
When Robbie was here his first year, Teddy Bridgewater was his quarterback. Robbie put up some good numbers. Teddy, of course, missed half the people that were open, but Robbie was a good receiver. Then we traded for Sam Darnold because we were stupid, or Matt Rule was stupid. And it's like that girlfriend that you want to get away from, and everywhere you go, she's there. I mean, it's like you can't get away from her.
Yeah, but if Sam's a 5 out of 10, Baker's a 7. So if I was him, I'd be taking it because nothing's guaranteed at the moment. And the thing with Baker,
true.
Like, at least he's got that mentality. Like, he's not a quitter. He might not be amazing, but he's a much better player. I like his mentality. He took a dodgy team that nobody else wanted to go to and took them to a winning team. Like for anyone to say he's like an average quarterback and his ceiling's here, I don't think we've had enough chance to see it yet. So he was injured.
Can you imagine we're like 3 games deep, and he's on his 7th Progressive commercial during the game.
Oh, dude.
I mean, we've seen Baker Mayfield at his apex. I mean, look at what he had around him. And the year Cleveland went like 11-5, top-ranked defense, one of the top 5 best offensive lines in football, top 5 wide receiving core. And now you want to bring him to Carolina with lesser talent, and you expect Baker to be better than Sam Darnold?
Yeah, but you tell me then, yeah? You tell me. Do you get better at your job every year? Are you better at your job now than you were 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or in your first year? Because I am, and I'm sure everybody else is. So everyone making this assumption that because somebody didn't achieve the peak year 3 or something into their career, and by all accounts last year he was injured, I think it's far too early. And, you know, in England, like, it takes footballers, like our football, it takes people years before they start really developing into the best player. So, you know,
I mean, Jay, I agree with you, Jay, but if it was that good, he'd be picked up already, bro.
I believe.
So if I can add to this conversation, though, I do think so. One, all of you are making really good points. Like I agree with Jay in the fact that he did take a Browns team to the playoffs, which is something that how many Cleveland quarterbacks can say. Now they did have a good team. But that's why I feel like it's such a similar conversation between Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo. Not from a skill set perspective, and yeah, kind of a skill set perspective too, but also I think one thing that you have to mention is that they have an injury history. With Baker Mayfield, yeah, he was hurt last year, but it seems as though injuries is something that he kind of deals with a lot every year. And I don't necessarily know that that's ever going to get better for him, especially with this Panthers offensive line, which I do think will be better. It should be better next year. But with that said, it's like, man, I just don't know if their bodies are going to hold up to an NFL schedule. And then on top of that, with Baker, you're going to have to trade something to go and get him. And the Panthers don't have a lot of draft capital right now. So it's like, it's a tough pill to swallow. And the last thing that I don't know about Baker Mayfield, and you all can give your opinion on this, if we did trade for Baker, do you think we're going to have to pay him an extension before he would play for us? Or
yes.
do you think Baker would be willing to play that 1 year and kind of just, compete for that next contract?
Extension.
If we're going between the battle of the mediocre quarterbacks, I hate to say, I'd rather have Jimmy Garoppolo than Baker Mayfield.
Exactly.
I don't want Jimmy any way, shape, or form.
Then that's your pick. Either Jimmy Garoppolo or Baker Mayfield, and I have no interest in Baker.
Run the Wildcat, bro.
I mean, you know what? Baker Mayfield has been to the playoffs.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
So has Jimmy been to the Super Bowl?
Okay,
to the Super Bowl,
but Sam hasn't. Sam hasn't. You've seen Baker play good. Not great, but good.
You've seen Jimmy play good.
You've seen Jimmy play good. You've seen Sam play crap. And that's all he's ever played, even way back in college. How he got to be a top 5 pick is...
Yeah, Kenneth, you're right, bro. You're right.
I mean, he must know somebody somewhere because he sure wasn't worth all that.
Backwards.
But
they had one of the best squads in the league, and he was the reason why they didn't succeed. So Baker might not have succeeded, and that team might have underperformed. But Jimmy G was the single reason why that team didn't make it, all the way.
Baker was too, bro. Remember, Patrick Mahomes was hurt, and he still couldn't win the game.
Exactly. But also to go on that too, there was that whole story with Odell Beckham and his dad essentially forcing them out of Cleveland because Baker wasn't getting them the ball.
Now,
the Super Bowl.
Now I have one thing that has anybody sat back and listened to the differences? If you talk to anybody in San Francisco, they all love Jimmy Garoppolo. They all come to bat for Jimmy, talk about what a great guy is, what a great leader is. We love him. When they traded for Deshaun Watson, you heard crickets about people standing up for Baker Mayfield.
Drew, not one player defended him.
Exactly. That ought to tell you something. When players don't have your back and don't defend you, that's really all you need to know. Because if your teammates don't have your back, there's an issue, and you're supposed
now,
to be
Jay, you're right, man. It will be an upgrade, but how much of an upgrade? You know what I mean?
The one thing about Jimmy G that scares me, I'll be bluntly honest. If he would redo his contract, if he would redo his contract, because that he ain't worth $24 million. That's just flat out honest. Now, but
that's cheap, brother.
Well, it may be not for
cheap
an average quarterback, not for an average quarterback. It ain't. If that's the case, we need to
getting 40
because he's only $18 million. Or we just need to skip all this other talk and go draft Malik Willis as 6th pick because he's going to be under 4 or 5 years dirt cheap. Now,
exactly.
Jimmy.
No, you said it right.
Jimmy
Same.
And
Jimmy Baker or Jimmy Mayfield.
Yeah, maybe I got
Jimmy Baker Darnold.
Maybe I've got too much buyer remorse on the quarterback rooms over my career or years as following the Panthers, especially. But the injury to his throwing shoulder scares the bejesus out of me. To me personally, that automatically removes a quarterback from the discussion. Until I see that quarterback throwing in a real game under real pressure, making all different sorts of throws. Now,
Cody,
I understand Mayfield had an injury, but it was to the non-throwing shoulder, correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Right.
But Cody, has anybody said what current Cleveland Brown has defended Baker Mayfield?
So I remember seeing a post about it. I'm trying to find it. It wasn't like anyone defending him over Deshaun, but basically people just saying, like, it was Myles Garrett and a few other guys saying that Baker Mayfield is a warrior. He was out there for his team, even when he probably shouldn't have been. He probably should have ended his season earlier, so that way he could have surgery and do things of that nature. And they pretty much just commended his warrior spirit. And I think that's what it was. Again, I haven't heard anyone like saying, oh, man, they wish, they would have stuck with Baker Mayfield over Deshaun. I haven't seen anything like that. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything saying that he's a bad teammate either. So, again, I don't know, man. I mean, from what I can tell, though, I will tell you this, Drew. I do think that Baker Mayfield has more bravado and more willingness to go out there and fight for something than Sam Darnold. To me, Sam
absolutely.
Darnold. Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying you are either. I'm just like, to me, Sam Darnold, he lacks every trait that you would want to see from a franchise quarterback.
Sam Darnold is Jay Cutler 2.0.
Sam Darnold's not a team player.
Smoking Jay Cutler.
Now I do agree though that I'm sorry, maybe I'm the minority in this. I wouldn't give a pick for neither one of these jokers, including Sam Darnold. I've already been on record to say I think the best thing the Panthers can do is cut Sam Darnold and you take out the trash when it gets stinks. And right now he's stinking. He ranking the whole house. Take that shit out.
The only way Baker Mayfield gets to Carolina is if Scott Fitterer plays a game of chicken with Cleveland and make him blink.
Now,
it's like, okay, you got 4 quarterbacks on your roster. You don't want Baker Mayfield on your roster. Nobody's going to trade for him, so either you cut him or you deal with him.
Now, if I am Scott Fitterer, the only thing I'm going to give them
is
for Baker Mayfield is Sam Darnold.
I would do that straight up. Contract for contract.
You take my trash, I'll
do that
trash,
for sure.
And you pay your trash, and I'll pay my trash, and then we it. And that's
they're not going to want Sam Darnold, bro.
I mean, if they want to throw me, if they want me to throw in some,
I think we trade Robbie Anderson
player because they want something in return. Fine, I'll send them a 4th-string safety, or I'll send them a long snapper. We got 2 of them jokers.
I think they'll be giving a pick to get rid of him. I honestly, that's where I see it going. I don't see it as like I could see them giving us like a second. Well, they haven't really got much to play with now, have they? That's the problem.
No, they don't.
They're giving it all away, but I think that the value is in getting him out of there. So I think that they'll have to do that. They're going to have to cut him, or so I could see them swapping with Sam Darnold, because as far as they're concerned, he's not a negative, is he? He's the same price, but he'll just be a backup without being in the media, no distraction. Whereas
And they're going to need a because Deshaun's probably getting suspended. You know what I mean?
Well, they've already got through 2 other quarterbacks on the roster, so they would have 4 quarterbacks on the roster if they did a swap for Sam for Baker.
Well, the good news is, guys, the good news is we got one more. We got 6 more days, and we'll figure all this shit out.
Yeah, man. Dude,
I ain't got a close. 6 a.m. this year for once, so now I'm in Costa Rica. I'm on the same time almost as you guys, so
nice.
Like, every year I'm on the show at 4 a.m. half asleep. So this year I'll be good.
Nice, man. We have a fun show prepared for.
Wait, it's 4 a.m. now? Where you're at?
No, what I'm saying is, I live in England, or I was living in Ibiza the last 2 years in Spain. So, like over there, I was like 7 hours behind. Whereas now I'm in Costa Rica, so it's 6 p.m. here. I don't know what time it is in Charlotte, but it's 6 p.m.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So I'm
a lot easier for you, right?
Let me throw this out there. This is just a hypothetical.
Well, it's a whole lot easier for you to be able to make the show.
What if the Browns and the Panthers said, we'll take Baker Mayfield and we'll swap our 4th pick for your 3rd round pick?
The brand.
I would do that, because with that we would be able to move up to a 3rd round pick, and for a few picks. I mean, it's something in that range I think could happen. I think it's happened similar situations where the team gets rid of a player by just swapping draft picks or something.
And I will say that
they're taking Sam back also, Panther Pickle.
Sure, I'll give him Sam. Give him Sam. I got a whole bunch of players I don't like. I'll give him. I mean, I don't want Sam on this roster, and I'm at a point now. I don't really care how he gets gone.
Because if they don't take Sam back in the trade, they're gonna have to eat most of that contract.
We're gonna have to call Trey Boston and tell him to bring that damn baseball back.
They have rearranged the cap so much and changed so much. I really don't think they really care about dead cap. I really don't think these teams give a rat's butt about dead cap.
Well, they need to chill out, because we only got $5 million for next year.
Well,
they'll push some more down the road.
They'll figure all that out.
Yeah.
If you go to overthecap.com, if you go to overthecap.com and click on 23, you'll be able to see all the guys you can get rid of and have draft pick and have a bunch of cap.
And by the way, you're also going to be able to, dude, listen, we should never worry about the salary cap ever again, dude. After seeing what the Saints do, it seems to me like there is always a workaround for all your NFL financial woes.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm not even saying that, Jay. Oh well, we just pay everyone willy nilly. What I'm saying is like when you need to free up space, it seems like the guys that are really in tune with the ins and outs of the salary cap, dude, they figure out how to find $30 million somewhere. Like I feel like the Saints do it.
But Cody, but no one mentions they lost Tyron Armstead. They don't mention that. No.
That's the thing. They only lost like 3 big name players. Through all this, they've only lost 3. They lost Armstead, they lost the safety Williams to Baltimore, and they lost the defensive end to Cincinnati. Other than that, they've got their whole team still intact.
Now,
and none of those guys
they have 2 first-round picks, so they're probably going to replace 2 of those 3 with the first-round picks.
Exactly.
At one time, beginning of this offseason, we were literally in, say, about 26th or 27th in available cap. A drop of a hat, they cleared, and we had the most cap in the league.
Number 1, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Kenneth.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it does come due, man.
I do understand that. I really do. But, there's just so much with the cap. And the one thing I want to get rid of Sam for is what I think it was somebody mentioned earlier.
Your mental health.
Yeah, well, not just that. Sam has a I don't give a damn attitude. And it's not a good I don't give a damn.
Yeah, what did he say, Kenneth? He said
he's a proven good quarterback.
You strap it up.
Yeah.
And you know what? To me, it's not even like, to me, it's not like Sam doesn't care. To me, it's that he's just nervous. He's so unsure of himself. I mean, he's like a wounded animal.
No, Cody, I disagree. I think he knows he sucks. And he just making his bread because that's what he's supposed to do, right? I mean,
maybe. And hey, shout out to him. That guy's going to make almost $19 million this year.
And he knows he's in the good old boys club, so he'll be a backup for the next team.
Back. Like, you'd think he was a stoner, wouldn't you? When you watch his interview and that, you're like, mate, what are you talking about? Like, you're awful. And look, I love Cam. Yeah, and like, Cam's the reason why I got into American football, as we call it, and the Panthers in particular. But like, there was a definite step up to my eye. There was a definite step up when Sam came back, in terms of just seeing the way he releases the ball, and But in terms of like being a good quarterback, like he says, he's not even in the. He's not even remotely close, is he?
No.
So Jay, what you're saying is you watch him, you feel like he don't have a natural feel for the pocket, for the feel. He just doesn't look comfortable back there.
Like me, like there's a presence that we become accustomed to as Panther fans, where Cam was like Superman to us, and you always felt confident. I mean, towards the end of his career, it got difficult, but you always felt confident when the ball was in his hand. And like Sam just doesn't give that confidence to the fans, and you can see he doesn't give it to the team as well. So it doesn't really matter like how well he performs. People just don't believe in him, and people don't. You had the feeling that the players would die for Cam, and they all wanted to win for Cam, but you just don't get that feeling with players like Sam Deere. So
even Baker Mayfield, and I know people don't like Baker, and sometimes I watch him, I don't blame him. But one thing I'll give it, Baker comes out and fights. Baker comes out and fights. He really does. And if you're going hunting or you watch pro wrestling, something like that, and you have to pick a partner to go in and fight a battle with you, or to go to do something with you, do you want Sam or would you take Baker?
Are you saying Sam Darnold born swallow, bro?
Yes.
What I'm saying is there isn't a difference Sam and Baker, except I don't think Baker's mentally damaged like Sam is, and I believe Baker believes he's going to the Super Bowl one day. And Sam, I don't think he realizes how bad he is, but I bet he doesn't believe he's going to be there one day. He might be able to convince himself enough to get up for work every day.
Right.
Whereas I think Baker honestly believes he's going to be a winner, and he just needs the right team and everything. And at least he'll be stood there and he'll get us excited and he'll get us motivated. Sam, honestly, it just hurts my feelings to see how like
it hurts my eyes, bro.
Yeah.
And like with Sam, it's like the drive will be going good. You'll be getting excited, and then he'll throw the most dumbest pass you've ever seen in your life, and you're like, well, that's Sam Darnold.
On Sunday at 12 o'clock, you're like, all right. I used to be, Panthers on. Here we go. It's with Sam. I'm like, okay, Panthers are coming on.
But Kenneth, if I'm being honest with you, and then I'm going to Matt, it hasn't felt like that in a while for me, man.
I agree.
Look, I've always told everyone, and I've been honest about how I came to be a Panthers fan. It started in 2011 with Cam Newton. So I don't have like this deep, intimate relationship with the Panthers of the 90s. For me, Cam was it, right? And when they let go of Cam Newton the first time, I came to a crossroads like, okay, are you still a Panthers fan? And you know what? I said, damn it, I am. I'm not going anywhere. I love my Panthers squad. I'm a rock with them. But I would be lying to you if I had told you that these past few seasons, especially, since Teddy Bridgewater, essentially, these past few seasons at the start, there hasn't been that emotional excitement that I'm used to feeling at the start of every football season when the Panthers are getting ready to play. I don't feel that anymore. And now partly, this is part of the reason why I'm such a big advocate for Malik Willis, because this guy not only does he have all the physical tools that you want from a long-term franchise quarterback, but man, when you see his leadership ability, like guys want to play their best football for Malik Willis, man. And he's the most important position in football. It's like, how often are you going to come across those types of guys? I would say that Malik Willis is probably a better leader, I would say, than I had Justin Fields as coming out last year.
Cody, they said the entire Senior Bowl was gravitating towards him.
Yeah. The entire and by the way, speaking of the Senior Bowl, I went back and looked at some of those clips from his Senior Bowl, and man, his ability to move in the pocket, his ability to zip the ball into a tight window, he doesn't panic under pressure. And by the way, that's one of the real big separators, in my opinion, between Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has that same thing that Sam Darnold has, where as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, instead of trying to find a moment to step up into the pocket and survey the field and throw the football, he gets those happy feet, man, and he runs out of the pocket and he tries to make a play on the run. Whereas I feel like Willis is cool, calm, and collected and comfortable behind the pocket, and I think that matters.
Go ahead, Connor.
I told Matt I would go to Matt first, so we'll go to Matt, and then we'll go to Connor right after Matt.
I forgot which player brought it up, but the whole dog mentality and how that's been lost over the last couple of years. There's some truth to that. Like, this is a different Panthers organization from organizations past. Like, I grew up with Delhomme as my QB1. Right.
He was a dog, though. He was a dog.
Yeah, yeah. And like,
I got a story I'll tell you.
From what last year, what I saw was like at the first half of the season, everybody was shining. There were some hot spots, and then it slowly started to appear like they didn't want to be trotted out there to be embarrassed, because if they notice when you're going to home games and you have no fans in the stadiums, I'd be embarrassed too. They're probably thinking, hey, I'm taking a fall like this for my coach, who honestly should feel embarrassed, which I don't think Matt Rule feels embarrassed. Out of all the things I don't think Matt Rule feels, I don't think he feels embarrassment.
Hey, Matt, you're right.
It pisses me off. It pisses me off because our guys deserve better.
And Matt, to your point, the guys that we have now, they wasn't around when we were winning, when it was full. So they don't know anything else but us having half full stadiums. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me go to Connor. Connor, you still there? Or you need a minute? Yeah, he might. If you need a second, that's cool, man.
I'm good. Okay. So I was just wondering, when are we going to compare mock drafts?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are going to do that. So, look, I wanted to put this video of James Campen real quick. And this is actually a video that Tony did, and it has the footage in it. But Tony put out a great video, so I'm going to play it, and then we'll react to it. And then as soon as we're done reacting, we'll compare some mock drafts.
All right.
Brought in a bunch of experienced assistant coaches, such as Ben McAdoo, James Campen. I got to ask, do you like these guys already more than Matt Rule?
I think that's a really good question. But if you get a gritty guy, I don't know. But
It's good, Coach. We don't really like him that much either.
Whoa. I almost slipped there. Yeah, see, there you got me. Is this on like live? Shit. Oh, shit. Thank you. Sorry about that.
I like this guy more than
Cody.
Matt Rule already.
Cody.
James Campen for head coach. James Campen for president.
Cody, before we compare mock drafts, I got one question. Can we address this? Can we address this Thibodeau conversation? Because he's going to be there at 6. Because he's dropping like crazy.
Oh, Kevin Thibodeau. Okay, yeah. What you want to say?
I'm just saying, like, if he's there at 6, wasn't he like the number 1 prospect like 2 weeks ago?
Not 2 months ago.
Well, so at the start of last season, when people were doing their way too early mock drafts, people had him at the top of the board at number 1. And it's one of those weird things, Jay, where he's a guy who's mentioned that he didn't go to Alabama. And he went to Oregon because he wanted to be able to get a future corporate job working at Nike. And is really into NFTs and making money outside of football. So the narrative around Kayvon Thibodeau, fair or unfair, is how much does he love football? And does he have the work ethic? Does he have the motor to be that kind of defensive prospect? When you look at the film, the guy has all the talent in the world. He's very fast. He's very bendable. He's super athletic, long. I wish he would use his speed to power better because he doesn't really get his hands into the chest of the tackle and bull rush him back. That's not really something I've seen him do a ton of. But super athletic.
So you're good on him, right? Is what you're saying?
I mean, yeah. So again, if we're talking about the Panthers, I don't care which defensive end. Like it would have to be a Myles Garrett type of prospect, and I don't really have any of those guys. Well, I take that back. The only player that I would truly be okay taking at number 6, that's a defensive end, but he's not going to be there, is Hayden Hudson. Because I think that he's the kind of player he reminds me of a more athletic Bosa brother. Yeah, but I think he's even more athletic than Nick Bosa.
Well, maybe he drops. We'll pray on it.
Yeah, potentially, man. Potentially. All right, man. Let's go ahead and.
Cody.
I
go
want to
ahead.
say something real quick.
Yeah, just a quick one. Yeah, just explain what you said before about Cam. Yeah, like, when he obviously initially left, and Carl Allen and we were still winning games and stuff. Like, I went through the same transition as you, and it was weird for me, being a fan without like that stud quarterback. But that excitement's gone for me in some respect, but it's not because of the players. It's the management and the owner.
Yeah.
Like I want to see us do well, but I really don't want to see these people succeed. Like, so I just feel like I'm like torn a little bit. Like I don't want to see Matt Rule winning championships and stuff. I want him out of there. And the same with David Tepper. I don't know how you feel that are a little bit closer to it, but he just comes across like a dickhead to me. He always makes the wrong decisions. He's always got like that smug look on his face. He's been here a while now, and he's still making the wrong decisions. He's still picking. I mean, anybody who could look at Matt Rule and think, right, 8-year contract or whatever it was, has to question his own ability to make these decisions. So he needs to start taking a step back, and
I will say this though. I think, and David Tepper has sucked as an owner, but I get the thing that he's very smart. So I'm hoping he can learn from his lessons, and I'm hoping them bringing veteran coaches this year is everybody just being more smarter about our situation. You know what I mean?
That was a move because that was something that we obviously needed, the experience. And I don't know about you guys felt, but I felt like Matt Rule didn't have the respect of the players, because if you're a player that's been in the NFL for, let's say, 5-6 years, are you going to listen to a coach who's in his first year out of college?
They don't listen to him already, man. That they was laughing at that DBO shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, they always should have had a blend of experience. But obviously, Matt Rule, being probably a bit of a narcissist, didn't want anyone more experienced than him on his team. And it's obviously, backfired. And now he's surrounding himself with experience.
I've been a fan for a long time, man. Don't give up, bro. We get special moments here, man. We just gotta get the quarterback.
So my thing on that, Jay, is we're never going to be able to have a say-so in David Tepper. Whether we want to or not, that guy spent $2.5 billion on a football team, and that man is going to be, he's going to be here whether we like it or not.
But Cody, I will say this though. I like Scott Fitterer.
Yeah.
That was a good hire.
Yeah, I think most of us would say that Fitterer has done a good job to this point. He has to continue to prove it, but I do like Fitterer and what he's done to this point.
Fitterer's can't wait to fire Matt Rule, Cody. He cannot wait to fire him.
I'd love to know how much of a say he had in the Sam Darnold trade, though, because he doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would see that potential in Sam. I don't know what it is about him, but he seems to be a good judge of potential.
Right.
And I've found in the past that players could fit better at some teams more than others. But if players tend to show that fear inside the pocket and those demons, they don't tend to come back from that. And that's the one element of when I looked at him, I was like, that's why I wouldn't want him. Do you know what I mean?
It was more of like Sam Darnold sucked and the coach sucked. Our offensive line sucked. So it was like a microcosm of our organization right now. There's no cohesion. The defense was good for like 3 weeks, and then the whole league figured them out in 3 weeks.
But if you know that going into you must have known the line was going to be a weak point. You go in, get a vet quarterback, but you get someone that's mobile. You don't get someone like Darnold who struggled in basically an identical replica of what the Panthers were last year for the last 4 years in New York. Yeah. So it's not even as if they were like, right, we've got a really good line. We can get by with a below average quarterback. They literally just in the deep end.
And also Joe Burrow and your boy in San Diego, they shut all that shit up because they had no O-line for the first 2 years and they flourished. So there's no excuses, bro. Like either you can play in this league. It's a whole lot easier to play nowadays. You get the ball out quick. Like we got to find a good quarterback.
But you know what? One last that annoys me is that because I don't come on the show that much, so it might be 6-12 months in between when I come on. But I remember we were all here and we signed Teddy, and we all went, look, this is neither here nor there, and all this is going to do is drag us through mediocre, football for 2 years now because we're not going to be good enough to get a top tier quarterback. We're not going to be bad enough. We're not gonna be good enough, sorry, but we're not going to compete.
I will say this though, dude, that it was the right move, bro. They bailed on it too quick. That was the problem.
But I don't think that was the right move because Teddy wasn't. We know what Teddy is.
But we should have kept him. We should have kept him for one more year and then.
But I don't agree. I agree that we'd have probably had a better season. But would we have competed? No. Would we have got a top 5 pick? No. It's got to be one or the other, isn't it? And that's the reality. And I'm sick of us playing it safe in the middle. So, and I think Cody's the same. If you think someone can take us there, it might take 3 years, but go for it. But
can I ask you a question, Jay?
Pardon?
Did you watch football at all before Cam Newton, like American football?
No, basically what happened was when I was at uni, a friend of mine was a Saints fan, and he said, "Oh, come and watch a game." And I was like, "Oh, I'll watch a game." And it was the Saints versus the Panthers, and Cam was. It was the year before we drafted Benjamin, because I remember Benjamin was the first time I ever sort of followed the draft, and so the year before that, it was just like Greg Hardy was still about, and Cam was on the team.
2014.
And Cam was Cam was being a dominant,
that was 2013 because Benjamin was drafted 14.
Yeah.
Oh, right before. Okay, I got you.
And I was just like sort of, I just loved Cam and that team and Keekly and Josh Norman, all these people. I grew to love the team, and I always felt emotionally attached to the team because I wanted Ron Rivera to do well. I wanted Cam to win. I wanted Luke to win. Whereas now I just feel like that. I still love the Panthers, but it's not the same at the moment because I don't feel the same connection to the team. So I think we need to start from scratch building those pieces again.
Yeah, and we're trying to do that. We're not doing it well. So yeah, but this is how rebuilds work, man. So like we just got to figure it out because I mean it comes and goes sometimes,
Yeah. Hey, real quick, G Baby, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's good with you boys, man?
What's good, you fam? What you up to?
Man, just chilling, man. Hi. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm just chilling. Living life. It's Friday. It's Friday,
Hey, man, Connor just dropped out of the room. He'll probably be back here in a minute. But, man, what you got for the show? What you got for the show, man? Did you check out any of them coaches' interviews at Ben McAdoo or James Campen?
I feel, bro, if you want the honest truth,
I don't want you to lie to me, bro.
I'm about to boycott this season, man. I'm scared.
Before the draft happens?
Bro,
Let the draft happen.
Bro, None of these QBs, man, have the it factor, man. I don't want us to jump and just get a QB just because we need a fucking QB, man. I want to build an offensive line, man. We need an offensive line. I want Evan Neal.
Well, let's see what Fitterer does, G baby, before we go and jump off the bandwagon for this season. Let's see what Fitterer does. He's got to earn his money.
We're a two-win. What? We can't stop the run. We lost Hassan Riddick. That's another piece we have to replace. Like, we have no safety play. In my opinion, Jimmy Chase moved to.
I'm just saying, let's see what Scott Fitterer can do next week. As far as Matt Rule in the season, I can't answer that one for you. But
us having a winning season.
Problem is, they think all of the top 8 backwards.
If we draft a QB, it will be the worst move. This is the biggest draft of our organization's history, man. Like, we cannot fuck this up. We cannot fuck this up. We just can't. And we can't go chasing QBs because we need a QB, man.
So,
we can't do that.
Let me ask one question, and then we're gonna do the mock drafts because I know Connor's probably gonna go soon. So let me ask you this: okay, so if we draft a left tackle, are you cool with Sam Darnold starting the rest of this year?
Yes, absolutely, because we're not gonna win no fucking games this year.
Okay, so hold on though. Are you okay with drafting a tackle?
Yes.
And the Panthers going to get either Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo? Because that's
I'm not okay with that because we have to trade assets and we have no assets to trade.
Okay.
Our best opportunity is just stay with Sam, bro. We just have to lay in the bed. We fucking don't. Like, we just have to deal with it, man. Unfortunately, but honestly, we have to build this offensive line. We have to. And getting Evan Neal 6'7", 350 pounds. Was the best tackle in the SEC, played against the best pass rushers in the SEC in the nation. He will be there. He will be there, bro. I promise you.
He's not going to be there, bro.
Gee, I don't know if he falls past number 1. He might be the number 1 pick in the draft.
He's the best player in the draft.
Giants will definitely grab him.
Hey, Hayden Hudson is from Detroit, right? He played at Michigan. Trust me, he wants to go to the Lions.
Well, that don't mean
nothing. He does not want to go to the Lions, bro.
Well, but
why wouldn't he want to go to the Lions?
Nobody wants to go to the Lions.
Well, hold on, G. That's not what we're saying.
He's from Detroit. He played at Michigan.
Hold on, G. You're talking about Evan Neal. Yeah, I mean, Aiden might go to the Lions, but the Jacksonville Jaguars could pick Evan Neal. And by the way, so could the Houston Texans.
Giants.
So could the Giants. Like, it's a possibility, man.
Cody, I love Evan Neal. I also love the tackle. What's his name? Is it what's his name?
Icky.
I love him. I love him. So either of those, I prefer Evan Neal. But if we get another tackle, I'm totally okay.
Hey, baby, my question to you is: if both of those guys are gone, which will probably be the case, then
exactly.
What?
Then
we need a trade back. We need a trade back and go get a second-round pick. We have no second, we have no third. So if both of those tackles are gone, we just need to trade back as far as we can. We keep the first round draft pick because we have to keep that fifth year option. But I'm okay with trading back because so I can see Scott Fitterer doing that, man. We have no second and we have no third. We don't have shit. All we have is a funky ass first.
Yeah, but apparently all of the top 8 want to trade backwards, is what I've heard today. There's no one that anybody's overly.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a bunch of people want to trade up.
And that's why Evan Neal's gonna get drafted quick.
You do in the mocks because that's what fans do. I don't think anybody's want to trade up. I really don't. Everybody in the top 10 want to trade back, and everybody in the back said, "No, we good."
Yeah, I agree. Hey boys, I gotta go because I gotta carry on with working, but it's nice catching up.
All right, Jay, man.
All right, Jay. We'll see
you
next
night.
Keep pounding, Jay.
All right, Connor, we'll do these mock drafts, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Cody, let me ask you one question real quick, G. Let me ask you one question, G. Would you prefer to have a bookend left tackle along with Taylor Moton, which we know can be a great fucking tackle, right? So now we have a great left tackle and a great right tackle, right?
And Sam Darnold.
We're not going to win no games. We will have a top 5 pick next year, I promise you. So why not take that top 5? Just be patient. Why we're not winning nothing this year. We're not going nowhere this year. We're not. Let's be real. Can we be real? We're not winning no games this year.
Bro, we know that.
So look, the thing that differs, and people know my opinion already, I feel like, but the thing that differs is my evaluation on Malik Willis. And in my opinion, if Malik Willis has the same potential as a Josh Allen, then why shouldn't the Panthers draft him, G?
Because I don't think he's that great, man.
Yeah, but people didn't think Josh Allen was that good either.
Or Deshaun Watson.
So when you watch Malik Willis, hey, let me ask you this. Hey, you became a Panther fan because of Cam Newton, right? When you watch Cam Newton in Auburn, bro, he won 2 national titles. He took Auburn to an undefeated national championship, man. That's it. So that's that it factor. You don't see that in Malik Willis. I don't get that special feeling.
He was playing.
Malik Willis don't give me hope, man.
He was playing at Liberty with a bunch of nobodies, man. To think that doesn't matter, bro, that matters. You're gonna tell me that if you put Malik Willis on Alabama, that people aren't talking about him like the first pick in the draft? I just don't think so, man. I think the talent around them matters more than people are giving credit for. That's all I'm saying. I don't have a crystal ball into the future, y'all. I can't tell you who is or isn't going to bust. I'm just saying based on the physical talent that they have and the skill set that you project into the NFL, Malik Willis has all of it in spades, bro.
I mean, Cody's
and he's going to have no left tackle to protect him.
Now he's a top prospect.
We went a whole decade with Cam Newton not having a left tackle.
If he ain't there, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Because if somebody drafts him before you, you ain't getting them.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Hey, let me ask you a question. Are y'all okay? Let's say y'all don't want to, you don't want a quarterback, right?
And the Falcons get him.
Yeah, Jay, you took the words out of my mouth. Are y'all going to be okay with Malik Willis going to either the Falcons or the Saints and him having to haunt us in the division for the next 10 years, knowing the Panthers could have drafted him?
Good fucking riddance.
We play every year anyway.
All right. I'm just saying, man, we don't know what kind of future these people are going to have.
We passed on all those good QBs last year. What makes you think we're going to draft these guys, man?
Because you live and learn.
Well, hold on, Connor, jump in here, man.
Figure it out and you learn.
Connor, say what you got to say, bro.
Oh, God. So I really got to go. I got like 7 minutes. So can I go ahead and
share? Yeah. Did you have it? Yeah, go ahead and share it, and I'll put it up there.
All right, so I'm on my iPad, so I can't screen share, but what I can do is, I don't know, can you guys kind of see that a little bit?
Can you just DM it to Cody?
Let me, do you have a Twitter?
No, I don't. I don't have any socials.
Okay.
No, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, let me hit this full screen right quick. So, all right, yeah, I see. So, I mean, yeah, you might, maybe you can read it out.
That's a pretty
for
good
us,
draft.
Yeah,
I see. Connor Haywood and myself.
Yeah, he took Charles Cross Charles Cross.
Yeah.
I played 2 future seconds to move up to 32 to draft Kenny Pickett.
Oh, hell no.
That looks similar to.
Wait, hold on. Let him finish. Go ahead, Connor.
Round 4, I took backer Damon Clark. Number 5, I took Tricon Thornton. And I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but number 6, I took Frayer Muffin, I think.
Yep, Mumford. Yep.
7, I got that kid. I got that punter, Matt Azier, and then 8, I got.
Yep. Nice, dude. That's a great mock draft because you're able to fill 2 different needs at a time, man. Drafting a franchise left tackle and a franchise quarterback.
I did not want to give up all that capital, but I mean, they would not take anything else really.
No, I hear you, man. That's a great mock draft, man. So when we go through them and compare them, we're gonna have that one up there too, man. But yeah,
okay, I gotta go eat dinner, so I'll replay the stream maybe after dinner and see what you guys are saying about it.
Awesome, man. But dude, thanks you so much for joining. That's an awesome mock draft. Enjoy your dinner, bro.
All right, Connor, be easy, brother.
See you guys later.
All right. Yeah, later, Connor. Appreciate you joining. Yo, Twan, you in the show, bro?
Yo, I'm up in here.
Yo, what it do, bro?
What's good? What's good? I'm just listening.
I mean, now you're on the show, bro. What's up?
It's all good, man. I think with what Scott Fitter has done, the Panthers got we can make some noise next year.
Yeah.
As far as
Especially if C-Mac stay
I
healthy.
don't want to point no names out and that like that or whatever. But listen, what irks me is when people start talking about giving up a season or boycotting a season, then I have to question your fanhood. You don't get to give up on your team ever. You can be frustrated with them. You can call them all the names in the book. You can go after certain people, but you cannot drop the team for a year unless it's just a matter of speech.
Yeah.
I can't stand Matt Rule. I can't stand David Tepper. Everybody knows that about me. I hate both of them.
I mean, and like,
but I'm not going to let the team go because of these idiots.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll give y'all a little inside baseball. I've been working on this for a while now. I reserve the right to change my mind, but
right.
I got my top 50 players of the NFL draft, and if y'all want to look over these, it's fine. But I decided
Can you read
to
them out real quick? Read the top 10 out.
Yeah. So my top 10 players of the draft, and people are gonna say I'm tripping, but especially this year, man, it's a weird year. I think this is just as relevant a board as any. My top 10 players, I have Malik Willis, number 1. I have a Kemba Corner, number 2. I have Hayden Hutchinson, number 3. Evan Neal, number 4. Derek Stingley Jr., number 5. Trayvon Walker, 6. Kyle Hamilton, 7. Jermaine Johnson, 8. Andrew Booth, 9. And Kendon Green, I have number 10. And I had Charles Cross just outside the top 10. But yeah,
what's wrong with that?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this is just as relevant a draft as any. Let me add my man, the professor, Tony Dunn, to the stream. Tony, what's up, brother?
What's good, what's good?
What's good, man? What you up to?
Sitting here, picking one of my kids up. We've been throwing the football out in the field, chilling, man. Just checking in to see what people are talking about.
Beautiful day, wasn't it?
Man, it's nice out, dude. It is nice. What y'all talking about? What's the news? What's the news? What y'all want?
Show my draft, bro. I sent it to you.
Yep, I'm gonna do that.
I want to say one thing. I kind of agree with.
Oh yeah, what's up, Alex? By the way,
up? What's up, man?
Alex to the show. What's up, Alex?
Hey, you know what? Honestly, I'm kind of with G Baby, man. With the O line, we've been looking for an O lineman for years, like someone to block. I mean, we didn't even
have one though, bro. Christensen, we might have one.
But that's one guy. I mean, we got a whole line to fill. We were getting killed last year. Like we were getting sacked all the time last year.
But don't you agree we upgraded though?
You guys didn't. So you guys missed where Scott went out and got these O linemen. I'm puzzled. I'm puzzled at the way you guys think that we have right now. We don't have the same line from last year.
Well, but in fairness, though, Boseman on a 1-year deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't know how long he's going to be around.
Great. I'm glad he did. The Panthers need to do 1-year deals from now on because we get crushed when we sign
a prove-it deal.
Deals. I'm glad they learned their lesson. Sign these guys to a year, see what they got, and then go with it.
Yeah.
My thing is
I think what it just comes down to is that none of it matters unless you have both. Right? A line without a quarterback ain't crap. And a quarterback without a line ain't crap. And here is the thing: is that the sad part is that we're even divided about picking an offensive lineman, and we're really not, because we've been wanting that pick for dang 8 years.
A whole decade.
And now we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, good Lord, we abandoned. And so look, nobody I think is gonna be disappointed if we go O-line at 6. It's just like this. We know if we go O-line at 6 that we still trying to find a QB.
Yeah. No,
that's just going to be the story. You know what I'm saying? That's just going to be the story until we find him. And even if we draft a QB, we still going to be wondering if he's the guy, this and that. But at least we have a trajectory. So I just think this: if you guys want to get mad, is wait till they screw around and draft like a wide receiver or a dang defensive end, and we'd be like, oh god.
A defensive end wouldn't be a bad. Hey, can I say something real quick about the quarterback situation? Is this? Listen, man. We're not going to hit a home run with a quarterback this year if we draft one. And I'm with drafting one. I don't think any of these quarterbacks will be a home run. A home run meaning Pro Bowl.
Why do you think that?
All pro. Let me finish. If Malik Willis or Pickett is one, fine. I hope we pick one of those guys up. But sometimes you have to do things for right now and stop trying to hit the home run on the first attempt. We're not going to get the home run quarterback right away. We got to do things that are going to help us right now. It's not going to go from bust to Super Bowl. You guys know this, right? And I think every year a lot of Panthers fans as well as guys on other teams, they think Super Bowl or nothing.
I'll put it back up in a second, Jay. Go ahead.
And we're not going to the Super Bowl this year. But I don't think we're going to be bad enough that we're going to be picking in the top 10 next year.
We a 2-win team, bro. Stop it.
Y'all got to realize Aaron Rodgers only won one Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
we a 2-win team, bro.
Look, man, I got to push back on that a little bit.
We're going to win 2 wins next year.
We a 2-win team. G-Baby said that. G, what you mean? You think we gonna win more than 5 games this year?
I don't even believe that, bro. 2
wins.
wins.
Have you looked at the schedule? Have you looked at the schedule? Go look at the schedule, bro. Come on now, stop it. We a 2-win team.
Whoa.
Let's be real here.
This is what y'all are both missing, man. Like when you look at how many games last year and the year before, how many did we lose by a field goal? Like we're pretending, bro. We're pretending like we didn't lose by 3 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been the best team in the NFL for the past 4 years.
I think it was 2, Cody.
But hold on.
I think it was 2 points.
But hold on, Twan. What I'm saying is this: why does it have to be so far fetched that if you put a talented quarterback with all these receivers that we got, and we got Christian McCaffrey, and you just said we brought in 2 really good offensive linemen in free agency. Brady Christensen might be a damn good left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that not a situation for one of these quarterbacks to have an offensive rookie of the year type season with that kind of supporting cast? Why is that out of the realm of possibility?
You guys are bugging if you think we're gonna win 2 games next year.
No, I don't think that. I never said that.
I don't think that. If
No, we're gonna win 5. That's the only number we are allowed to win.
I think we can win at least 7 games because look, the NFC South is trash, other than Tampa Bay, and I can see us splitting with them if we get the right quarterback.
Right. And let me tell you something. Right there has been decades of proof that says that teams who win the offseason generally suck during the season.
Exactly.
So don't walk up, oh, this team's great, this team did this, team's going to do that. Bullshit.
Unless you're the Rams.
Come the regular season, they may suck just worse as before. How many years have we heard the Saints won the offseason? The Browns won the offseason. We went multiple amount of years, everybody praising that the Browns
and then they don't win
offseason. Then the season comes and it win crap, and everybody throws out a bunch of excuses, and then it's it's the restart, rebuild.
My thing is this: if Malik, let's just say we do draft Malik Willis, and he's a bust. Now what? Now we got him.
What we're right back where we was before.
I just want Malik Willis to sit. I don't even want him to play in the first year. I want him to sit.
Well, Alex, but couldn't I say that about anybody though? Like,
Anybody could be a bust.
Maybe okay. Maybe you might be able to look at an Evan Neal and a Kim Kwanu or any of these defensive players and say, yeah, I think their bustability is probably lower compared to say a Malik Willis. But y'all remember the name Jeffrey Okudah? He was the top. He was the top cornerback and the Lions drafted him. They also passed on Justin Herbert.
And people
drafted Jeffrey Okuda.
To get him.
What? Everybody said that he could be the best defensive player in the entire draft. What has he done? Really, what has he done? Like, he truly hasn't done anything, man. Like, it's a gamble. No one knows the future on any of these players. And I think another thing that we don't consider is that the teams get to meet them in person. I guarantee you, man, you might think that you know everything you know about any player because of what you've seen on film. But, man, you might meet them in person, get to fall in love with their character, their love for the football game, and then all of a sudden you feel like, man, this has to be our player. And I don't know who is doing that for the Panthers right now. If I had to bet, I would probably say it's a player like Malik Willis, and that's what we're hearing being rumored.
Isn't that what the kind of intriguing part of this draft is that there's not a consensus number one pick for that? Like, Jacksonville got the number one pick. Nobody knows who they're going to pick. On top of that, not only is there not a consensus number one pick, but pick any position group, quarterback, offensive lineman, wide receiver, and there is not even a clear consensus about who the number one in that group is. And that's pretty neat. It's going to make for a really dramatic.
Because it's pretty talented.
Maybe it's parody.
It's just a position that's talented at is what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. There's not a clear-cut offense. How about this? Is that we really should be, in theory, in any other year, we should just be having the argument, is it worth risking on a quarterback, or is it finally time to just take the best offensive lineman on the board? But even that, we can't even agree who the best offensive lineman is.
I mean,
that's a good problem. Yeah, that's a good problem to have. But there's
that's a great problem to have, bro.
Tony, when we drafted Luke Kuechly, tell me, when we drafted Luke Kuechly, how many people predicted we would draft a linebacker? I'm like you, Jay Stubbs. When we drafted Luke Kuechly,
people were mad, bro.
Because we had just signed John Beeson, we just signed James Anderson, and we even gave Thomas Davis a nice contract. Then the first pick of the draft, we had multiple. We had offensive linemen. We had defense. We badly needed defensive tackles. What's the name of the tackle for the defensive tackle for the Eagles?
Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher Cox was on the board then. I screamed for it.
That wouldn't have been bad though.
I went off.
Nah, Luke's way better than Fletcher Cox, bro.
Luke's way better. Cox had a legitimate career though. You know who that freaking Puerto Rican wanted so bad?
Luke's a dog though.
Yeah.
Maurice
Claiborne turned to a psychopath, bro. Yeah. But that's what got him hurt.
Man, I remember you telling me that he was down for Claiborne. Claiborne didn't do nothing.
Here's the thing. Here's another thing about this that's interesting is that I know that people like to dog on Marty Hurney, right? Is that Cody is one of them people that hated some Marty Hurney. But if you go back and you look at the last 10 years of our draft, it turns out it's not as easy as you think to hit on the first round pick.
Yeah, but the back ends were awful, dude. Awful.
Sure. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just saying everybody always says this is you're supposed to hit on the first round. You're supposed to, of course you are.
Yeah, but we
go back and
like
Hurney couldn't hit on other rounds.
Vernon Butler, Kelvin Benjamin, Shaq Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not as easy. Right? Yeah. What I'm just saying is it's just like we got to get the pick right. It don't matter who it is that because look, it could be the offensive tackle for the people that are saying, oh, what if Malik's a bust? What if Kenny Pickett ain't got the stealing? What if? You know what? You could say that about all these damn tackles too. Jeff Ota, by the way, was a dog, bro. He was a dog, and then injury just ruined it. And then that's a trade, and you just can't. A first-round pick doesn't win you everything, but if you miss on the first round, it sets you back.
Yeah, and I think the point that Tony's trying to make too is like you just don't know. Like Jeff Otah had great film. He was a justifiable pick at the time, and then you never hear from the dude again, and he's injury prone. It's like at a certain point, you have to just take a bet. And by the way, Scott Fitterer has been saying this exact thing in press conferences. He's been saying, listen, you have to swing on the quarterbacks, and if you miss, you have to swing again until you hit. And by the way, the reason why you do that, it has been proven now that if you look at the better teams in the NFL, what do they all have in common? They drafted a quarterback, and then they built around him. Like
Lamar Jackson.
We're gonna keep on doing this thing where next year's class is better, and then we're not in picking range to even draft whoever's in that class anyway.
They said that Lamar Jackson was a wide receiver, B.
Yeah,
right.
No, I mean MVP of the league. The other thing too about this is I don't like the NFL, the pro ready argument. I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast plenty, but here's the thing: is like even the best quarterbacks in the league right now were not asked to start from day one.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. Mahomes sat for a year. Peyton Manning actually went in and stunk for a whole year. But Tom Brady, like it's actually a newer thing to pick a quarterback in at the first pick and then be like, all right, go save us. That's like almost like a more modern look at or I guess a statement about how important the quarterback is.
But yeah, but it's a sign of the times too. Like, especially if your team is drafting a quarterback, more than likely your team needs an injection of life. So inevitably, these quarterbacks, whether they're ready or not, they get pushed into a scenario where they have to start. And I think that's what people are afraid of about Malik Willis and Matt Corral and Kenny Pickett is that
we're not in a place we have to start them either, Cody.
Yeah,
we're really not, and that's why I wanted us to pick quarterback last year because I thought even with trading for Sam Darnold, you could have just said Sam Darnold's a bridge or Teddy Bridgewater. The whole point is everybody says they want a bridge quarterback, but then they don't want to draft a quarterback and even give him the time to learn. If we draft a quarterback at 6, I don't care who it is. You pick the name. I don't care. I still don't think it would be best to start them week 1.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? If I could throw something out here.
That's what I said.
About
I think
quarterbacks.
you get a quarterback that should sit.
The Panthers have been to the Super Bowl twice. The very first one was a guy who came into the league undrafted. He went to NFL Europe, was a backup behind Kurt Warner, and it took him 6 years before he got on an NFL team. And all of a sudden, just like that,
that's a whole different era, bro.
I know it, but the first game of the season, he started, and he took you to the Super Bowl.
I know you're not talking about Jake Delhomme.
He is.
Jake Delhomme never developed. Jake Delhomme played with a ton of talent.
Stephen Davis was a monster.
But that's not the
Davis
point.
was on injured reserve
But
most of the
guys,
time.
that's
No. I'm tired of people. Jake Delhomme played with a ton of talent.
But hold on, listen. That's not even the point. Kenneth is
They
trying to
bailed
make.
him out so many times, bro.
Yeah, but hold on.
Steve Smith and moves.
But listen,
Yeah,
that
but
is not
it took
the
a
point.
quarterback willing to throw Steve Smith.
It
took a quarterback willing to throw Steve Smith in balls that nobody else, that no other quarterback would, because they said the short kid ain't open. That's a fact. Ask Steve Smith.
Nah, the point. I think the point he's making is this: is that just because you aren't a boss in two years out of college, don't mean you don't have something to offer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
and
like,
that is actually
that was
still
a running back era, bro. Like that was a running back era.
Well, because
yeah, I mean, like that was, but at the same time, look, he was also playing against the
Our team was stacked.
My phone just
Our team was so stacked.
We had 2 running backs that had like
hard,
400 yards.
No, they wasn't. No, they wasn't. We had a scrap offensive line. These were folks that were signed in.
No, we had Jordan Gross.
Jordan Gross. That line was like
we
that.
didn't. Jordan Gross was a rookie, and he did not start.
Yeah, but how about that
I watched
defense?
that whole season.
That defense was killer.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what
You're
team
right,
he's
but
looking
we
at.
also had a defensive-minded head coach that said the best play in the best play.
The Patriots knew our plays, bro.
3 runs and a punt.
Yep.
He said that was an excellent play.
Patriots knew our plays, B.
But by the way, hold on. Look, I want
a field goal kicker away.
I want to let Candace finish his point. finish what you were saying, Ken. You said we went to the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah, we went to the Super Bowl twice. What I'm trying to say is every great quarterback don't have to be drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
He wasn't a great quarterback though.
And just because they're not a first round pick, or just because they don't start, don't mean they suck.
No, we agree with you. Jake Delhomme is a bad example.
It's a bad example.
But let me tell you what. Let me tell you something that you won't see on tape.
Don't put Jake Delhomme.
Okay, let me tell you you won't see on tape.
He only got a coach.
You see a quarterback who walked out on the field, and if you go back and watch film and hunt it up, I can find you that though actually. But Jake Delhomme brought fire to a team that didn't have none.
Who?
Jake Delhomme brought fire to a team that didn't have none. This is a fact.
He had moxie. He had moxie.
This is a fact. Because
he goes start stuff with him and Smitty would start stuff with the defense all the time.
And listen, but
what about all those damn interceptions he threw? What about
early in his career he didn't. Early in his career he didn't.
Hold on, y'all. So listen, ultimately, what I think, and I've said this before too, I agree with what Kenneth is saying, and that Jake Delhomme was an integral part of that Super Bowl season. I was never, I was aware of Jake Delhomme. I was never a big time fan of his, but at the same time, like that man put up a great performance in the playoffs and the Super Bowl
a couple times.
Yeah, so I'm not going to take that away from him. But what I do think one of the points that Kansas is trying to make here is that, I mean, look at guys like Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco. Like, you don't necessarily always have to have the best quarterback. You have to have the right quarterback.
But Cody, we don't want one-hit wonders, bro. We want dynasties.
So what?
I said, but like that's like more of a one-hit wonder. We be competitive every year, bro. You know
right.
What I mean?
And I do agree that that's not the recipe for success going forward. Like, I think that you have to have a dude at the quarterback.
I'll take it though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a guy at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and Cody,
what Jake done? Jake wasn't a superstar. Now, don't misunderstand that. But at that age and that team he was presented to, he was a game manager who gave the folks around him. Let me tell you what.
It was a running back league, bro. Running backs are winning this MVP every year.
Yes, but Steve Smith needed a quarterback who would just throw him the ball.
Okay.
And that's all Jake had to do was throw the ball to Smith, because that's what Smith wanted. Steve Smith would not be the receiver he was without a quarterback willing to take a chance and forget the stats and just throw the guy the ball.
Yeah, but we ran the ball too now.
Yeah, but if you take Steve Smith and put him with Peyton Manning, Steve Smith would have never made it to the Hall of Fame. He would never been a Pro Bowler.
How about this? Hey, how about this?
Always been a running back, bro.
Hey, do you think this is fair? Hey, do you think this is fair? Because I think this is fair. Steve Smith would not have the numbers and the accolades that he did if he didn't have a Jake Delhomme.
Right.
Hold on. On the other hand, Greg Olsen would not have the type of numbers and stats that he does if it was not for Cam Newton.
Steve Smith was getting triple team, bro.
They make each other.
Cody, that's blasphemous, Cody. That's blasphemous.
No, you had to be there to watch that.
Hold on. Which part's blasphemous, Twan?
The Delhomme Steve Smith part.
Steve Smith said it, dude. If you go listen,
yeah, that's literally the word.
That dude was a dog.
Can you imagine what Steve Smith would have been with a better quarterback?
Oh my God!
You're just
giving Delhomme credit. Teammate, who's gonna talk down on the quarterback? He ain't gonna do that.
Yo, he was bad. That was a bad boy, bro.
Robbie Anderson would do that shit in a heartbeat.
If it wasn't for Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith would have never been an All-Pro wide receiver.
Oh my God!
Because I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because Steve Smith.
Hold on, I gotta mute some people. Everybody, hold on. Listen. I want to segue this off of Jake Delhomme, man. I know that we got some very fiery opinions.
Yeah,
about
bro,
it.
it's bad. Leave
my,
that alone.
my thing is this, man. We're gonna compare some of these mock drafts here because I got some family on the way. I can't even be on here too much longer. And I do want to compare some of these, man. I know Jay Stubbs sent me his. Panther Pickle sent me his, and we're just gonna compare and contrast right here. And then we'll end the show with this, man. We can all comment on these mock drafts that we got. So I'm gonna let my man Jay Stubbs go first. Let me pull this up.
Panther Pickle.
Let me pull this up. Where's this at?
So Cody, while you're pulling it up, I did like 7 of these today, and Aquanu was there every time. So I'm not too sure what's happening with that.
I mean, really, like none of these are going to be accurate just because of the way the boards have them fall. We're pretty much just going to be judging the players that you did select. So, all right, we already saw Connors. This is what my man Jay Stubbs put forth. I mean, hey man, tell us about it. Tell us who you picked him, why you picked him, man. Like, what was your mindset?
So the goal was to trade back the best deal. So I did. I got Aquanu, Kenny Pickett. And then after I did that in the first round, I immediately addressed the defense and guard and a tight end. So make sure I drafted linebackers at the end of the draft just because we need depth on linebackers, period.
Yeah. So you were able to pick up a 3rd-round pick by dropping back to – so you traded with the Saints?
Yes.
Okay, trading with the division rival. I like it, man. Getting the guy you
But
want.
they took Malik Willis every time, though. Every time.
Every time, damn.
Every time I try.
And look, I'm telling y'all now, believe it or not, it is not outside the realm of possibility that the Saints and the Falcons draft a quarterback this year. So I'm just saying, man, if y'all don't like these guys, you have to be okay with letting them potentially.
Hey, Cody, can you tell me real quick, like, because I'm just it's skipping my head right now. Where is Atlanta and New Orleans in comparison to where we pick at 6 if we was to take the 6 pick?
New Orleans 16 and 22.
The Falcons are at 8, and the Saints at
16.
Yeah, 16 and 19. But they could use both of those picks to move up ahead of us.
Atlanta will definitely take one of those quarterbacks, bro.
Yeah, they would take.
They're not rolling with Mariota. It's no way.
But this is what I will say: if the Panthers, I'll go ahead and call my shot on this now. If the Panthers are going to draft Malik Willis, you have to take him at 6. I do not think you're going to be able to trade back.
Hey, Cody, he meant Kenny Pickett. He meant Kenny.
I think we'll try to get Kenny later on, bro. I really do.
We can get a lineman and get Kenny.
I think we can, bro. I really do.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people are saying
falling down, bro.
That might be the move.
Shit.
I sure hope Kenny.
We trade back. We can get Kenny and a lineman.
Yo, but like this whole Kenny Pickett thing, didn't he play in Pittsburgh? Like, what? Didn't he play in bad weather?
Yeah, he did.
So the whole notion he didn't is weird. It's like,
man, I'm so tired of the Kenny Pickett arguments. People just his hands. He's scared in the pocket. Blah blah. I mean, you got to see the guy play.
Twan, why is he your favorite?
Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anybody knows me. You know, I went to Florida State. I played football there, so I'm a Florida State fan. It's just like with I seen this guy like develop over the years, man. And last year, before he came in this year, I said if that guy comes back, he's gonna be special. And then he balled out. He did the same thing to me, not exactly the same thing because he didn't have the same talent. But then in the process, he broke Marino's record with his no small. But I don't even stick on that. But Joe Burrow technically only had one good year too at LSU, and Joe Burrow was surrounded by all 5-star players. Kenny Pickett wasn't.
all number 1 draft picks on top of that.
Kenny Pickett wasn't, and he's still. People can say ACC is soft. It's still a Power 5. And he took a team with nobodies. You guys can't name me 2 of the linemen on his line. Name a wide receiver from that team. Name 3 guys from defense.
All right,
he took them back to nobody.
Not you, Cody. Not you.
I hear you. I'm saying, but Twan, I'm saying this though. Like I hear you, and I agree with you.
That means the dude. That to me, that spells hungry.
Well, hold on. What I'm saying to you is this though. Why can you say that for Kenny Pickett, but not give Malik Willis the same benefit of the doubt? How many top wide receivers did he have to play with?
I
How
wouldn't be
many top
mad.
offensive
Listen,
linemen did he
hey,
have?
Cody, I came around. I wouldn't be mad if we got Willis. I'm
But
just
he's saying,
we could get Pickett and somebody else. Willis, it sounds like you're just getting Willis.
I think you can trade back and still get Kenny Pickett. I really do. He's
Yeah.
dropping.
I think you can trade back and get a lineman and Pickett.
Or a DN and Pickett. Whatever you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I don't know why people are so hard up for Willis. I mean, Willis is going to go high for his upside, but if that shit don't show up or if it never pans out,
like look at Trey Lance.
Well, I mean, Trey Lance hadn't played yet, you know.
But why do you pick somebody second or third and you let him sit on the bench for 2 years?
But like Tony said earlier, like guys, y'all realize Justin Herbert, that was the plan for him.
That's the old-fashioned way of doing things.
Bro, I think it's something about Lance. I think it's something about the Lance the 49ers don't like. I think it's something about that guy that they don't have confidence in.
Cody, what if we draft Malik Willis and then trade for Garoppolo for 1 year? Would you do that? What if that's
I mean, why are you trading?
Exactly. You don't draft Malik Willis and just sign Cam to mentor him. Yeah. You don't have to give up any draft capital.
They want every excuse not to sign him, and that whole video fiasco is what they're going to not use and not sign him.
I really just want us to sign Cam. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
All right, so
like this: if they're gonna use that to sign Cam, then they should use Sam Darnold's video of him saying he's a good quarterback to cut his ass.
Sam Darnold is not
next year, bro. Hey, so as I'm pulling up these mock drafts, y'all look at them and remember like which ones you think are looking the best. This next one is Drew's. Unless you have another one you want me to share, Drew. This is the one that I saw you put on Twitter. Go ahead and talk me through this one. You traded back, picked up Devin Lloyd at 22.
Yeah, I also got a first round next year from Pittsburgh on that one. Got Desmond Ritter at
Damn, how you pull that off?
You never know, bro.
Yeah, because I went.
Some teams are desperate.
22, they moved
Oh,
up.
that's a mock, and you
6.
can do a lot of things in a mock.
Hire this man as our new GM.
Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, they moved all the way up, and I think they did take Malik Willis or somebody. And I
every
moved
time
back.
for me, Drew. Every time they took Malik Willis, every time it was a trade.
So I'm like, okay, so I knew we needed a linebacker, so I got one of the best linebackers on there. And Ritter fell to 52, so I took him.
Mm-hmm.
We needed an edge rusher, so I grabbed Isaiah Thomas. He was the best one around. I knew we needed an inside offensive lineman. Alex Lindstrom was the best one there. I remembered the safety from Florida A&M, so I picked him up at 144. The linebacker from Baylor was the best player available at that point at 149. And then go back over, let's see. Yeah, and then Josh Pascal had the best RAS score at that point. You pick it at 199 at that point.
Yeah.
And then Jeremiah Moon had a good RAS score, so I just took a flyer on him.
And you know what? I'm not mad at that. And I'm happy that I did see you put Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter is a player that if you hear stuff, a lot of people are saying that NFL talent evaluators might have him a lot higher than people in the draft media do.
And Matt Corral.
And Cody, look at it this way. If Desmond Ritter doesn't work out, we got 2 first-round picks going in the next season.
Joe Person said the other day on Kyle, I think it was Kyle Bailey's show, that he thinks the Panthers are higher on Desmond Ritter than they are Matt Corral.
And you know what? I mean, when you look at from a pure physical skill set, I hear this narrative that Desmond Ritter doesn't have a good arm. I don't know if I believe that, man. I really don't think that's the case. My critique of Desmond Ritter is that his footwork is very inconsistent. And there are some times that he'll just miss some of the easiest layups that I've ever seen. But then, the very next play, he'll throw a missile, and it's a perfect ball. Another thing about Desmond Ritter, we're having all these conversations about who is and isn't ready to play in an NFL offense. Cincinnati's offense was by far the most NFL-style offense out of all the quarterbacks in this draft. So if you're looking at, in terms of concepts and alignments.
Even more than Kenny Pickett?
Yes, even more than Kenny Pickett, I would say so. Especially from like a route tree perspective and the types of formations that they would do with their receivers. A lot of trips, a lot of spreading out the field like that. So from that perspective, yeah, I do think Desmond Ridder, he probably is more prepared than people give him credit for. But again, you're talking about footwork. You're talking about throwing mechanics. And I mean, the arm talent is there, and he's mobile. He ran like a low 4.5, and he's like 6'3", 225 pounds, 10-inch hands. So the opposite of Kenny Pickett. Like, this dude from a physical perspective.
Has he been hurt?
Not that I know of. I think Kib is in the chat room. Kib, if you know different, you can let me know. But I don't remember any.
But Matt Corral's been hurt, right?
Yeah, Matt Corral has had injuries both years that he played for Ole Miss. So that, but the talent, I think, is there. I didn't show this yet, but in my top 25 players, and I'll post it on Twitter after this for everyone that wants to look through it. But I have Matt Corral rated higher than Kenny Pickett, just because I think his physical upside and the things that he can do and what he's capable of and his poise behind the pocket. Yeah, I prefer him over Kenny Pickett if I'm being real.
We can give him in the second round or no?
Who, Corral or Ridder?
Corral.
I don't know, man, dude. This draft is such an enigma, bro. I have no idea really how it's gonna
quarterback go early.
Unless they trade out, I would not be shocked at all if the Lions don't take a quarterback. The Lions will take a quarterback in the first round, be it 2 or 32. 32. One of them, I think they will. My opinion.
Okay. Yeah, and there's potential that we have to consider how many quarterback needed teams are out there. The Seahawks, the Falcons, the Saints.
Steelers.
Who?
Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers have 100%. So it's like,
man, I miss the days picking at 25, bro.
I know, man.
I'm kind of excited. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, man. I said I'm excited. As a Panther fan, I'm not gonna just give up on the season. Even if we were to get Malik Willis at 6, like, it's still gonna be an exciting time. New quarterback, new everything. I mean, we're still gonna be excited for the season, and just you never know what can happen. So I mean, like you said, Cody, I mean, anything could happen. So in the draft.
So Cody, is there any chance at all Malik Willis starts year 1? No, right?
I wouldn't say no. If I'm just being honest with you, because you want to know why I don't say no. The common knowledge might say that he should sit a year. But
isn't he super smart too? Didn't he test very well?
Yeah, dude, he scored a 32 on his Wonderlit test. And a lot of people like to poo-poo the Wonderlit test and say, oh, but there are guys who have scored very high and they didn't turn out to be worth a damn.
Yeah, but they're not talented.
If you look at Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, some of the things that they have in common is they scored good on their Wonderlit test. It's the ability to be a problem solver, to learn new information quick. And Malik Willis scored a 32. And that's why I'm saying I make this comparison to Justin Herbert, because even though you might look at him on film and say, okay, this dude needs some time to prepare for the NFL, which inevitably is going to be true to some degree, there's no guarantee that he doesn't just pick this up in no time and start to show flashes in training camp that this dude's ready to play right now.
Is he a better prospect than Trey Lance?
I believe they're comparable. And that
San Fran traded a whole farm for that.
Yeah, they traded a whole 100%, dude. But I think from a stats perspective, Trey Lance was more of a winner. And the one thing that might put Lance over Willis is that Trey Lance took snaps under center. So he was also somebody who was in a pro style offense It wasn't against great competition, but he did all the things. And that one season that he did play, my man didn't throw a single interception. So, that was a big part of his evaluation. But from a skill set perspective, yeah, they're on the same page. They're very, very similar players.
And in Panthers history, taking the safest pick, usually doesn't work for us, to be honest.
No, and I feel like that's what we always do. But honestly, that's why I said earlier, that's why I'm happy that Ben McAdoo is in the war room, because I believe that if anyone was going to fight for the bigger talent, then I think it would be a guy like Ben McAdoo.
Man, if he does that, I mean, he might be the next head coach, bro.
Goated, man.
But do you think him playing his cards, like, in this interview saying, Sam Darnold is our starting quarterback, do you think he just thinks that these rookie quarterbacks aren't as good as Darnold?
Or it could be just him maneuvering for the damn draft, bro. You don't know right now.
Yeah, honestly, it could literally be all of the above. But I do believe Ben McAdoo, and I'll take him at his word, just because of how I know he has ranked previous quarterbacks in years prior. And by the way, I don't have a clip of it, but in that same press conference, Ben McAdoo's introductory press conference, he mentions that just because a quarterback might be more pro ready doesn't mean they're going to be the better quarterback prospect long term.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah.
Safe pick.
Yeah. So this is my
Mac
man
Jones.
Kenneth. This is Kenneth's mock draft. So Kenneth, why don't you walk us through some of what you did and some of your mindset?
I had the opportunity to draft Malik Willis, but I wanted a tackle really bad. So I traded back and got a tackle. I got Charles Cross. Then I made several other player trades. I really like these player trades because a lot of times you can get good players that are current in the league that we talk about on here for nothing. For example, on down there, I just did this because I didn't want Sam on the roster. I traded him to the Eagles for Gardner Minshew. I throwed in a few picks that I got because I figured out if I trade back, I can get a lot of late picks.
Yeah.
And that's what I used for trade for some of these. I also traded several late picks for for Montez Sweat from Washington.
Okay.
And because I didn't, but I traded Cam Irving for one to the Lions for a corner. He plays corner there, but I always liked him at safety. So,
dude, I have to give you listen. I have to give you credit for in one draft getting rid of Pat Elflein and Cam Irving. Hey, I can't be mad at you for that, man. That's pretty damn good. I'm not mad at that.
This site, where they have, I don't know where they get their rosters at.
Yeah, this is PFF.
But, they actually have some. They have this one or the other one I did. They have Morgan Fox, who's, by the way, is a free agent. I could see him coming back, though, to be honest, on a cheaper deal. He's currently a free agent. I traded him to somebody. I think it was on the other one, though, for a pick or for a player. So, but I also, I don't know if it was this one. I tried to get, but when on the draft, I drafted Desmond Ridder. This was the odd part. There were several quarterbacks available. So I knew the Panthers liked Ridder, so I took Ridder over Cross. But I could have easily took Cross or Sam Howell for that matter. Some of these guys I just threw a dart at actually because I read a description and I liked what I read, so I took.
Yeah. I mean, look, So Charles Cross, if you go back to our video on Charles Cross, I have said I do not see run blocking being a problem for Charles Cross in the future.
Right.
And that Charles Cross and Ike Ekwonu, they're like the yin-yang version of one another, in that one of them was a much better run blocker on film, and one of them is a much better pass protector on film, but they also weren't asked to do a lot of the one that they didn't show a bunch of.
And Cody, I took Ekwonu because of what you said on your film. You said that it's clear he'll be probably capable to pass protect because he has the tools to do it, right?
Yep. Not only does he have the tools, but he's a little bit raw in that regard too. I think that once you give him some refining, I think this man is a monster. And by the way, if you look at his arms,
and he can play guard.
Let me tell you, there will not be any Brady Christensen issues with Kevin Kwandu. This dude has arms like the Golden Gate Bridge.
One thing, reason why I actually
Matt's taking him then, bro,
is because I do like Campen, our offensive line coach.
Yes.
When I took some of these, I took this into consideration. I know some of the comments said, was it Desmond Clark had spinal surgery? He did, but he's played, according to what I read. I may have read wrong, but he's played since then. Did he not have that his freshman year of college? But I mean, so besides, he was a late round pick. What the hell of it? So,
yeah, I mean, no, listen, I like that draft. I think
it's a 4th round pick. So I mean,
Kib said Panther Pickle took half the players in the draft.
Well, if you do it right on these mocks and you trade back enough, you can do that. And both of them are on.
Ain't nobody taking Pat Eflin, bro.
You're right, but let's be honest. Would you really seriously think, even if you gave them a couple picks, the Eagles are going to take Sam Darnold over Gardner Minshew? Sam, $18 million, and Gardner Minshew making like $240. I mean, reality is that's not going to happen. But these are mocks, and they're not supposed to happen anyway.
Yeah.
And the Eagles ain't
like that's what I said. Like, I don't care how unrealistic these are. Like, I mean, because they're all going to be
right.
I mean, if that can work, I'm down for it.
Exactly. Like Malik Sweat, I traded with Washington. I had some picks, and I just kind of wanted to get rid of them because I didn't know half these players anyway. I didn't want to draft any more players than I had. Yep. So I was just hunting, and I actually tried it, and they accepted him, and I like, okay, all right, I guess I'll take him. I mean, but he's a starter.
I mean, hey, if the trade goes through, if the trade goes through, and they're willing to accept it, I mean, do it. Why not?
Cody, so
I even drafted a quarterback late, and I drafted a punter.
So, Cody, this draft has potential to be like kind of crazy, like wow, like he took him there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like no one knows where anybody's going.
I know this will be fun, man. Like I said, I won't be live day 2 of the draft, but I'm gonna go live Saturday, and so we'll be able to kind of all react to day 3 of the draft, kind of as it's happening, and discuss everything that's happened thus far.
Or we take Malik Willis, and there's no more drafting.
I mean, at least not. Well, then it would work out because then we wouldn't have anything to talk about on Friday anyway.
Exactly.
So
Cody, you guys doing the StreamYard for everybody on Thursday night?
Yeah. So I believe at around 8, we're gonna open it up for people to start coming in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun, dude. We do this every year. By the way, this is my anniversary on C3. Like, my first time I ever came on the show was on the draft show the night we drafted DJ Moore. So this is my third. This would be my 3-year anniversary.
Oh wow!
No, what?
I've lost track of how many drafts I've watched. I want to ask you about a player, Cody.
Yeah.
Connor Haywood. I really didn't know who he was till I recognized the name Haywood. And I noticed on the site on PFF, they have him listed as like 5'11". And I thought, how can he play tight end at 5'11"? But I had to Google him because I thought I need to know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
So, but according to what I read, he catches everything they throw at him.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know why he's not necessarily mobile. He's like a real strong guy. But he's the type of player that could be like a slot receiver, in my opinion. Like, he does catch everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna be a 3-4, right? Are we gonna be a 3-4 this year, or more of a 4-3? What do you think?
I'm thinking we're gonna be more of a 4-3.
I think so too. But
I think it's gonna be a 3-4 again.
Cam Hayward, and because I read that why he doesn't do a lot of. From what I read, he's a good blocker, but that's not one of his best skills because they haven't reinforced that in college.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something he probably can do it, but you can't do it if you ain't been taught to do it. So yeah, I know off grid he's H-back, but I just kept thinking we don't traditionally use what I will say fullbacks, or at least we haven't the last couple of years. You know, I would like to draft somebody. I'd just say late round.
Well, remember we had that dude Giovanni Ricci last year, and everybody was wanting us to convert him to that fullback kind of position.
Cody, I'm hoping that JC balls out and the Terrace balls out, so like Scott Fitterer can get crowned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, and that's the last thing I'll kind of say on this. It was mentioned earlier, like, guys, you all know I don't love Matt Rule and that I don't think he's our long-term answer. But at the same time, like, to everybody that's like, well, we shouldn't draft a quarterback just because Matt Rule is going to be fired. I said this on Twitter today. Justin Herbert was the 6th pick in the draft. He was the offensive rookie of the year. And they fired the head coach after his rookie season in the NFL. So I'm sorry, but Matt Rule being our coach, or him potentially, being drug on any longer, that is not enough to stop me from drafting a franchise quarterback. It really isn't. And like I said, man, I called my shots. I called my shot on Josh Allen. I called my shot on Herbert. I hit on those. I have no reason to not trust my own eye. I think Malik Willis is a superstar waiting to happen, y'all. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I will have no problem eating a bag of shit from everyone, dude. I promise.
But if you're right and he goes to Atlanta or New Orleans,
I don't even want to envision that time.
Cody's never gonna let us hear the end of that, bro.
I think you know what? I had this conversation in the chat. New Orleans, I believe the Saints traded up for 2 first-round picks for a reason.
Cody, every time I traded today, it was Malik Willis. Every single time.
Did you? Twice, both drafts. Ekwonu or one. Ekwonu and Neal both were there.
Yeah.
But I never made it through that one because this computer kicked me out or something. I only got to do 3 rounds. I was like, screw this, so I just restarted it. But I wanted to take one of them, but I didn't want to not take a quarterback at all because that's what I was faced with. You are not getting a pick until the 4th round, or trading some next year picks to move up, or try to, and it never really worked out well. So I always ended up trading back, which, like I said, on these simulators is easy to do that.
Well, guess what? Yeah. We finna find out, Cody.
Yeah, I know. You know what? I was gonna have us vote on which mock was better, but I don't think we have enough to vote now. We got just 4 people in here. But listen, I think that every single one of you did a fantastic mock draft. The one through line that I do notice with all of you is that all of you decided to go offensive tackle first and trade back to get a quarterback. So, if that happens, y'all should be okay with that. Am I wrong on saying that?
No, you're right. But a lot of that stems from, to me, is whether people like it or not. There are more quarterbacks than there are offensive tackles with name recognition, or you believe you can start. You can develop.
All right, Cody. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Y'all have a great night, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna get out of here too, man. I appreciate you, man.
So I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
See you later, buddy.
Yeah, man. Peace.
Or Saturday. It depends.
Yeah, man. We'll be doing something that Saturday, man.
All right. Good night, fellas.
Yep.
all right,
I did one the other day, but I messed up and didn't save it. I actually took a guard. Traded back, took a guard. That's what it was. I took a
Kenyon Green, or Zion Johnson, maybe.
Zion Johnson.
I really like him, by the way.
Yep. I took Zion Johnson, and then I ended up taking Matt Corral. That's who I took. That's what I was saying.
But great. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that love, man. But yeah, y'all, I think that's gonna do it for another edition of the Friday Free For All, man. Listen, we'll be back on Tuesday for our Tuesday night show. But y'all, this Thursday. I'm already counting down the days, man. It's like, man, it's sad, but it's a good thing at the same time that when the Panther fans get more excited about the draft than we do the actual season of football, man. Like when you have top 10 picks, you're rubbing your hands together, licking your lips. You're like, man, we have a choice of some damn good football players here. And it's fun.
Well,
it's fun to do this, man.
I'd be more excited looking forward to the season when instead of looking forward to the draft. I want to be one of those teams that are like, okay, the draft's coming up, but I'm looking forward to the season because I know my team's going to be the bomb.
100%.
My brother is a Browns fan, okay? And my nephew is a Ravens fan, to be truthful. And I'm now hearing from them or from my brother is how you handle when you look forward to the off season and not the regular season. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm not talking to you no more. So just go.
Yeah. Yeah, man, dude. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun to see what the Panthers do. Lots of different options available. But y'all check me out. Check out drafttech.com. I don't say it enough. Drafttech.com has the most in-depth mock drafts on the internet, y'all. And I'm really being serious about that. Our website doesn't get enough love. Check out drafttech.com. I write full comments for the Panthers and the Texans as well. I'm trying to make that paper, And yeah, man, check out drafttech.com. Follow me on Twitter. That's my tag right there, right by my face at Cody Lack. Hit me up on Twitter. Kenneth, Drew, I love you guys. You're my boys, my Friday free-for-all crew. I appreciate you coming on. We will do this again Thursday, y'all. I'm pumped, man.
Absolutely.
I took Friday off from work on a vacation day. My boss says, so you're telling me this draft is that important? I said, yeah.
Yep.
The draft is more important than work. So my vacation, I'm going to take it.
Especially if we have a pick on Friday. I'm looking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially, man.
Exactly.
And you made the right decision. I stand by you.
Yep.
But all right, Panther Nation, I appreciate you. That's been another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. I am your host, Cody Lashley. Once again, signing off. Until next Tuesday, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.